welcome to Virtual Horror Con. I hope you all enjoyed Bluebeard's Bride earlier. That was such a great actual play. My name is Wes Franks, or Brother Wes, and I am going to be your game mother this evening. And this evening we are playing Alien RPG by Free League. But before we get started and everything, I gotta let you know, if you came here looking for xenomorphs and colonial marines and for things to be game over, man, and all that other good stuff, that is not happening this evening. I have taken this tome and I have homebrewed it to my own delight. It's a little backstory. I was on the deep dive with Nick over on Gehenna Gaming, and we were talking about how easy it would be to homebrew the Predator into this system, or maybe the Thing or something. And I started thinking, and I was like, could I do that for something that I love, which is, if you can tell by the title of this stream, or this whole stream thing, Carrying Cover Studios, I'm a big Dan Simmons fan. I'm a big fan of The Terror by Dan Simmons. So I've completely reworked it, and this game will be set in the 19th century, the late 1800s, in the Northwest Passage. A little bit, I would like to say thank you to Gehenna Gaming for letting Carrying Cover Studios have a hand in this. It has been a very wonderful yet stressful lead up, but we're here now. Everything's happening, and it's going so well. So do be sure to check out Gehenna Gaming, Darker Days Radio, and check out virtualhorrorcon.com. If you hit !VHC, that'll bring up all the info for that. Check out our wonderful vendors in our vendor alley. Go show them some love. And we have panels and workshops and games run by professional game masters as well. Check them all out. I'm so thankful for all of these lovely people here. Also, if you can, check out Drive-Thru RPG and Astral Tabletop and Onyx Path Publishing, and I think it's the Vajra Tabletop as well.
Vajra Enterprises.
Who have all sponsored this lovely event. And also, be sure to check out Free League, where you can get this book, and you can get this box set, Destroy Your Worlds, and this starter set, which you will see all these things being used.
So pretty.
You can also pre-order the Colonial Marines Operations Manual as well there, which I did immediately. But yeah, go ahead and check out this wonderful system. It's an award-winning system. It won an Emmy. Amazing. Before we get started, I would like for all of my lovely players to go ahead and introduce themselves and they will be playing for this evening, and then we will get started.
So who do we want to start with?
Let's start with you.
All right, I'm Jed. I'm from Near Dark Studios. Glad to be here. Didn't think I'd be on one of these, but I'm so thankful. I'll be playing the pilot of the ship that we're on, the Navigator, Good as his name. So that's what I'll be doing.
Excellent. And then next, let's have Dixie.
Hi, I'm Dixie, from Onyx Path Publishing. You might not recognize me in this, because I saw at least 2 people ask where Dixie was. I'm right here. Hi. All the hair is back here. It's me. And tonight I'll be playing Kipling, sir. I'm here to help in any way I can. I'm a cabin boy.
Amazing. And then next, one of the founders of Gehenna Gaming, Ian.
Oh, me. Hello, everyone. I am Ian. I'm one of the co-founders of Gehenna Gaming. I go by Ravnos on the internet, so if you see Ravnos, that's me. Tonight, I will be playing Human Tenpenny, a rough boat worker who thinks this is just an absolutely normal, perfectly fine voyage. Nothing's going to go wrong.
And last but certainly not least, Mark.
Yes, my name is Mark Hugh Anderson from Gehenna Gaming, also known as Marcosius or Marchosius, however you want to pronounce it. Thank you so much for everybody watching. Thank you, Carrying Comfort Studios and Wes, for partnering up with Gehenna Gaming for this. Holy cow, so far this has been an amazing start, and I'm really excited to play this game because it's the very first time that I'm even playing Alien.
Oh.
I will be playing Gunsmith Reeves.
This is kind of like how my first time playing B5 was that Dark Ages game that, I was like, this is interesting. It's an interesting introduction.
Yep. Just like that.
Amazing. Well, it is tradition with all alien RPG games that if it's your first time playing, you are the first one to die. Or is it you're the one to survive or the last one to die? I don't know. We're going to figure out in the game.
I tried really hard to die last time, and it just never happened.
Yeah, yeah. I took those notes, and I've made this game decidedly much more deadlier. And before we get started, I do also want to mention that not only is this just a convention to celebrate tabletop gaming and horror and everything in between, but this is also a charitable event as well, and you can donate to theblindcatrescue.com as well as Black Girls Code right down below. I've dropped a link in the chat, and let's try to raise some money for an excellent benefit there.
And so far we're at 130.
Yeah, 130 of the first night, going for a goal of $2,000, and I think we can make it. I think we can.
Let's try to make it tonight.
Yeah. All right, players, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
can be.
Chat, are you ready? Nod or blink or throw up a thumbs up. I can see it.
That's weird.
Yeah, very.
Everybody blink at the same time.
It's like Tinkerbell. Just blink at the same time if you believe. I've got water in my gullet, and we're ready to go. As we prepare for terror on the HMS Ponderosa. The year is 1895. The place is the Arctic waters of the Northwest Passage, or what is to be the Northwest Passage. If you do not know about the Northwest Passage, it was a area where the expedition forces of the British naval fleet were to travel and trying to find a direct route across North America from England all the way to the to Asia, trying to find a way across the ice, always trying to search and expand and grow, as we know most empires do. But with most expansion of empires, there comes fault and foolhardiness and an unwillingness to understand the harsh environments that you live in. We have our camera span over the frozen wastes of the Arctic Sea, ice shelves clinging to water that is barely lapping and sticking, ice droplets. You see the occasional polar bear, relaxing, resting, looking for something to hunt, to eat, to nourish itself. We pan over an Inuit hunting party making its way across the ice, knowing how to navigate their home much more than the foolish passengers and sailors of our vessel, as we bring up forth the HMS Ponderosa, slowly drifting through ice. The HMS Ponderosa is a Vesuvius-class bomb vessel of the British Royal Navy. Before this vessel had mortars and artillery cannons built aboard it. It is a thicker hull than your normal galleon or cutter that you would see in the fleet. It was meant to withstand bombardment and also to withstand the own bombardment it was raining upon the enemies of the crown. That means that it's perfect to withstand the waters of the Arctic Sea. It's perfect for navigating through pack ice, infested areas, and icebergs even. It is captained by one Captain Nathaniel Childs, a thoughtful and strong-willed man that has a deep care for his crew. His main goal for this voyage is to track down a lost ship, the HMS Macready. This ship, the Macready, never made it to its destination 3 months ago. And since then, it has been tasked, the crew and the captain of the HMS Ponderosa, to search the route that it was supposed to take and to discover what happened to the Macready and its inhabitants. For the past 2 months, the Ponderosa's crew has been scouring the route that the Macready was supposed to take, to no avail. Supplies are beginning to run low, but there should be enough for a return trip at this very moment, though Captain Childs is ready to see this mission through. The camera comes forth, pans along the side, and we see Childs strolling the deck, scour on his face. He looks up to the crow's nest. Good. Good. Any eyes on our quarry? Navigator, good. You typically helm the vessel, but Childs has made it a point to do this himself because he needs your keen eye to be able to spot the Macready. Can you go ahead for me and make Go ahead and make me an observation and wits roll.
Observation and wits. Can I push my roll on this one?
Yes, you can. You are more than welcome to push your roll.
Yeah, I actually got one. My gosh.
1 success.
1.
For those that do not know, the Year Zero engine is a dice pool system where you roll d6s and you're aiming to have at least 1 6. You form your skills and your attributes. 1 6 is a success. If you make multiple, then stunts get to happen. You're able to push your roll if you don't have any successes, which means you add a level of stress. So for your future rolls, Navigator Good, you will have 1 stress die. As you have your spyglass out, Good, everything looks the same. Ice forms into a blank, gray, thoughtless sky. But what's that? For a moment, you see, on the horizon, could it be? Does it look like a tree trunk? No, you get excited. You feel it in your chest. That's actually a mast. You see some tattered sails on the horizon. Hell, if it's not the McCready, then it could be another ship, and that means more supplies. What do you do?
With my supply gas up, I'm gonna yell down, "It looks like we could have one, sir. I'm not sure, but it's our best chance right now."
Childs looks at the horizon. He goes, Kip! Kip! Kip.
Sir, aye.
You look up, and the captain looks at you and goes, "My spyglass, please."
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
You hurriedly hand over his spyglass. It's a very, very honorable position to be able to handle the spyglass for the captain of the ship, especially for somebody of your station. He takes it. He looks over to where his Good is pointing. He goes, "By God, I think that might just be it." He goes ahead, hands the spyglass back over to you, Kip. He tightens his coat, his collar up around him. "All right, lads. Let us get ready. Making our way towards that object on the horizon. Due northeast. Push yourselves, push!" Yum and Timpenny, you are on the deck. Now, Timpenny, how do you feel about this voyage and how it's gone so far?
Foolhardy. Undue stress on both our bodies and minds, dealing with the cold day in and out. I wouldn't voice it, but I am not pleased. Just want to go back home.
Not pleased one bit, and I can imagine so. You go ahead, make your way over to your station, which is working on the rigging, getting the sails just right. The captain has decided that steam power is not the best course of action when the wind is in your favor. Even though the Ponderosa does have a steam engine upon it, you're trying not to dwindle your coals too much. Which at that point, you're going to have to start taking furniture, breaking it apart, and burning it so that you can have coals to fuel the steam engine.
It's prudent.
Yes. Go ahead and give me a strength. And let's go heavy machinery roll, please.
Oh, absolutely. One moment. Remind me, sir, what a success is here.
A 6 is a success.
Perfect. I have 2.
Perfect. So, with your test here, you were able to succeed, and as well with an extra success, you were able to make a push. Let me go ahead and bring up this roll. So you get a stunt for each extra 6. So with that, you get to gain a +1 modification to a later skill roll, or you got this. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future. You do it quickly, taking half the time it would normally take. You act quietly, or you show off. Or you can break it, but I'm sure you don't want to break it.
Oh, I'm sure that I'll be performing this task many times, and I will simply not have to roll next time.
I will keep it noted. Excellent. You start scurrying your way over to your station, grabbing, hoisting up in your thick forearms the rope and the rigging, pulling it close, looping it into where you need to on the dowels and the what the winches, whatever those things are called. It's very,
Taking
very
down
dramatic.
The sails, making sure everything's in place,
Exactly.
tying them off, moving to the next one.
Exactly. Perfectly. No flair, nothing of that. No need to show off. You're here to do your job, and that is it. And you start pulling and working in tandem with the rest of the crew on board. Down below the decks, 2 decks below. Reeves,
Yeah, what you want?
you're there, in your sanctuary, your natural habitat with your gunpowder kegs. You see the muskets and the muzzle-loaded pistols of all of the ship aboard, just in case anything happens. And you're looking at the gunpowder, and you're looking over this cannon, the cannon that's been with the Ponderosa for a while. You being the gunsmith, you've been with this ship the longest, even longer than Captain Childs, and you know its ins and outs just as much as the very hull itself. And you feel a lurch as the ship starts to move, and you can hear the strain on the wood around you and the rivets of the iron in the hull as you can feel the ice cracking. And it's almost maddening being in this part of the ship, but you find it kind of comforting because all of the screeching of ice being ripped by the wood, it shows that the ship is doing what she needs to do.
Yeah, and there's another lady who needs to be taken care of, and that's me lady Big Bessie over here. She likes to roll, so I need to tighten her ropes so she doesn't roll too much. Me lady is a sensitive one, but a strong one. She holds the biggest of balls.
As you are making sure that Big Bessie is taken care of, you notice something out of place. Go ahead and give me a wits and ranged combat roll, please, sir.
Me wits and ranged combat.
Aye.
Now, say if me wanted to do a push, what would that be?
If you wanted to do a push, then you could take all of the dice, you would add a stress level, and you would take all the dice that didn't roll a success, and you would re-roll that.
All right. Well, luck doesn't smile upon me today. No successes.
For a moment, you think there could be something out of place in the gunnery, but nah. Nobody else has been down here except for you and maybe the first officer, but nothing too worrisome.
No, I wouldn't let anyone down here because they move things on me, and that's how I lose things. Almost blew up the ship one way.
Almost did, but luckily you didn't. So, with everyone working in tandem, Kip, you're following along behind the captain. He's taken a liking to you. You're smart on your feet, you're quick, and you do your job well. And you're kind of keeping an eye on him, making sure he's doing well. He seems, I don't know, terse, but a little bit relieved. His shoulders have slacked since he's been tense about a month with there being no sign of the McCready. But for the first time, you see him kind of relax, kind of proud even, that maybe this won't be such a fruitless effort.
Yeah. I just look at him and I say, "Have you been eating anything before we get to the other ship, sir?"
We're going to be having a expedition go and try to meet and see if there's any survivors on board, Kip. Can you please rouse First Officer Phelps and I think Dr. Biltmore as well. We'll be gathering a crew to go across, and I think it would be a learning experience for you to go with them.
Me, sir?
You, lad.
I'll go get them right away, sir. Thank you so much.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Scamper.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a wits and observation roll, please, Kip. Also, as the captain hands you a parchment that has names written on it.
Wish I could read. I got one success.
One success. Perfect. You look through and like, you can't really read, but luckily for you, you do know who these people are. Like, you do know the people that he named, and maybe First Officer Phelps or Dr. Biltmore could potentially help you read this piece of paper. You run off. Who are you heading off to find first?
It was Mr. Phelps and Dr. Biltmore.
Yes, Mr. Phelps and Dr. Biltmore.
Mr. Phelps, of course.
Mr. Phelps. You make your way down below deck, and you're running through the galley. Wiggins, who's the galley, the cook, the ship cook, goes, "Oi, lad, stop running through here, all right? You're gonna trip over something, cause a mess. If I see these cans knocked over, I'll have your skin hiding here, and we're not gonna have to worry about hunting. We'll have you for dinner."
I'm sorry, sir. The captain sent me, sir. I have to go get Mr. Phelps and Dr. Biltmore, sir. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Phelps is in his cabin. See it right away.
Okay, sorry, sir.
He goes back, grabbing his cleaver and cutting something in half. You don't know what it is. You scurry down towards the officers' cabins, and you see First Officer Phelps, who's the chief officer of the ship, sitting in his cabin at his desk, and the rolling of the ship has caused a crystal ball on his desk to roll, and he catches it as it falls and puts it back on his pedestal and then takes notice of you. He's a man in his 30s. He's got thick sideburns, chops, ties his hair back in a ponytail. And even though they've been on this ship for a while and a lot of the officers have kind of stopped wearing their normal dress formal like uniforms and they've gone to wearing furs and other things that are much warmer, he's still keeping to his formal uniform. And he turns and looks at you and goes, "Oi, kid. Good to see you."
Hello, sir. Officer Phelps, Mr. Phelps. The captain wants you. It looks like we might have found the McCready, and he said I could go ashore with. Well, not ashore. On board. I could board the other ship with everybody.
You coming along? And we found the McCready, you say?
We found a ship, sir. He's pretty sure it's it, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Does he have a list or something? Did he give you something?
Oh, yes. There's a paper here, sir. I don't know what it says.
He takes the paper from you and goes, "If you're looking to be an officer of her Royal Navy, you're going to have to learn to read. You do understand that, right, Kip?"
Yes, sir. I've been trying, sir. It's just that everything the men have to read is so lewd, sir.
Aye. They are a lecherous lot. Let's see what we have here.
All the pictures distract you from the letters, sir.
And he just kind of chuckles at that, but then corrects himself. He goes, "This is a weird assortment. Gunsmith Reeves, what does he want with that old loon?"
I brought my Bible with me, sir, but nobody wants to seem to read it with me.
We will take time to read your scripture there at a different time. Master-at-Arms Millwall, very good. Navigator good. Good eyes, makes sense. Biltmore, what would he want with that old... Here.
Maybe in case someone needs a doctor, sir?
Excellent. He goes, "Okay, so who you're going to be gathering is Yeoman Tenpenny, Gunsmith Reeves, Navigator Good, Dr. Griffin, Dr. Biltmore, Mr. Lombardi, and Master-at-Arms Millwall.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Gather them on deck. I'll meet you there."
Of course, sir.
And you see him stand up, and he goes and he like puts like a muzzle-loaded pistol in his belts, fashions on a saber, and then grabs almost like a Commodore's cap, and puts it on, makes sure that he's ready. Just for the sake of time, Kip, I'm assuming you run.
Yeah, we'll gather everybody. We don't have to play the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. You gather everyone. As time goes forward, you're getting closer, breaking through the ice shelf. It starts getting tougher and tougher. So the captain has commanded to finally turn on the steam engines to push through this last shelf. As you get closer, you can now all see visibly from the deck as you're gathering aboard. You can see the McCready. It's this lurid brown husk that seems that it has run aground. It's tilted so that, but it hasn't taken on water just yet, it seems. It's rode up on this iceberg, it seems, and it seems that the ice of this monolith has grown up on it, and it has it trapped in its clutches. You can see the tattered sails, and you see that the lifeboats are still aboard. As you're all standing on deck, the captain turns and looks at you all as you're gathered. All right, men. You've all been picked because you are, specifically, very well suited in your roles upon this ship. I trust you the most. And we need you all to take stock of what the situation of the MacCready is, of her crew, and seeing if we can find any semblance of what happened. I need you to make sure that you take it post-haste, all right, though? The longer we stay out here, the longer there is a chance, and he's cut off as there is a sharp crash and a crack, and everyone turns and looks towards the starboard bow as you see that, seemingly as you were pushing through this ice shelf, a glacier had run aground of another one and had pushed forward a peak of sorts, and the Ponderosa had crashed right into it, and now ice has fallen onto the deck of the ship. You hear someone calling from the bow. Seems we've run aground, sir. Shouldn't be too much. We might have to get someone in a suit, though. Chop away at the ice. Childs goes, devil this ice. Well, men, you won't be able to take a boat, but, Reynolds. Aye, sir? Do you think they could walk across? Walk across the ice? It's quite a journey, but I think they can make it. He looks at you all. Do you think you can manage? Take one of the lifeboats just in case. Drag it behind you. If you run into trouble. Reeves.
Aye.
Make sure those that know how to use them are stocked with arms.
Yeah, I'll suit them up.
Excellent. Go ahead. I want to see you back here before dark. I don't want to be around here in this field if we don't have to be.
Reeves is going to kind of jump down into the cabin of the ship and grab a couple of very simple pistols. I imagine kind of those little kind of muzzle loaded type of gunpowder pistols with a couple of bags of gunpowder for each, and then a bag of are they called pellets?
Pellets, yes, balls, whatever
Balls?
you use, yeah.
Yeah, take a bag of balls. And don't point it at me. Point it at what you want to shoot, yeah?
You take some muzzle-loaded pistols, you distribute them each. Do you give one to Kip?
Oh, yeah. Boy, you've been coming down and looking at these for quite some time, and I think it's time for you to become a man, eh?
I'm very sorry, sir. I've only ever shot a shotgun before, sir, with my father. Do you have anything like a shotgun or a rifle or something I can brace against my shoulder? These are very big.
I got a... you're gonna make me regret this, but I think I'm gonna let you use the blunderbuss. It's kind of like riding a bike.
All right, sir. Yeah, this feels familiar, sir.
Mr.
Yeah, all right.
Reeves.
Don't point it right at me. Point it out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Mr. Reeves, I'm going to make note that you've decided to put your trusted blunderbuss in the hands of one Kip Kipling. Kip, this blunderbuss is old. You can see the bronze of this metal is dinged. It has some discoloration on it. You can see at the muzzle of it where it's just black and soot and gun smoke has stained it permanently. And the wood is cracked in places. And you can tell that probably it has been loaded with balls, silverware, what have you, whatever fires from this thing has been fired before.
Use it as a funnel once.
It's had mead or grog put into it. Ale.
Oh, plenty of that. Plenty of grog. Oh, yeah.
Is there anything that each of you are grabbing before you make your way off the ship? They're already getting a gangplank ready, and they're lowering one of the lifeboats for you.
Yeah, I would have gone over and just tossed one of the harpoons into the lifeboat and then helped them lower it.
Perfect.
I'm gonna help as well and grab my diving knife.
Perfect.
Make sure
I've
I have
got my
that.
diving knife and my lucky yo-yo, sir.
Perfect.
I'm gonna grab a Bible and a pistol for myself, and a kind of a thing of rope, just a little bit of rope.
Excellent.
Is that your Bible, sir?
Yeah, you don't want to look in this. You ain't gonna like what's on the inside.
Oh, I've been looking for someone to read scripture with me.
Nah, the pictures might distract you.
Oh, balls. All right.
All right.
It's one of them Tijuana Bibles.
Oh, yes. Yeoman Tenpenny told me about them.
Yeah, but you ain't a man yet. You might want to stay away from them.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
As you're all making your way towards the gangplank, you see that towards the bow of the ship where the Ponderosa has run aground, you see that one of your fellow yeomen there, Tenpenny, has started to get on a big, bulky diving suit made of canvas and leather at the joints with the big diving helmet, and the yeoman that's being put in it looks very scared, very terrified, as they're also handing him a harpoon to chip away at the ice and a shovel. And you can see they're lowering what looks like a swing. It has two ropes on it. It's essentially just a plank of wood with two ropes on it. And they're lowering it, getting it ready for him.
I'm going to walk over. I'm going to double check that he's in the suit properly. And I'm just going to smack the helmet.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a...
You'll be fine down there.
Give me a wits and observation roll, please, Tenpenny, as you're checking the suit, making sure it's perfect.
I can do that. 2.
All right. As you are making your way, looking over it, you go ahead and we'll say you do find that it is successfully patched up enough, but go ahead with a stunt. You can tell how much longer it's going to be lasting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the observation sets don't really work for this, but this suit has been used quite a bit, and it's going to be retired soon. It needs to be. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep an eye out on the McCready for a replacement suit.
Good to know.
Excellent.
And I'll make a note of that to one of the winch crewmen who's going to be manning the swing. I'll just let him know, like, oi, don't let him stay down there too long.
All right, I'll go ahead and make sure it's right as rain. We'll pull him up, especially if he gets too scared. Won't take too much of the piss out of him.
Don't pull him up too quickly, then.
Oh, all right. Whatever you say, Tenpenny. You all make your way, and you see Dr. Biltmore, Dr. Griffin, and Master-at-Arms Millwall gathered around. Each three have traded in their uniforms for furs. Dr. Griffin looks very excited, very overworked, though. He has come along with this journey to be able to take in different samples and to sketch some of the things that you see in the Northwest Passage in the Arctic. And he's very excited to actually be able to go out on the ice for once. And then you see Dr. Griffin is tense, terse, does not want to be here, but as being the ship's medic, it is his place to make sure that things are okay if you find any survivors on the McCready, to do triage. Master-at-Arms Millwall is taking his knife to his fingernails. He's taking his gloves off, and he looks over the rest of you and goes, I don't want to see any funny business from each of you, especially you, Kip.
Of course not, sir. No. Wouldn't dream of it, sir.
This won't be a playground.
Of course, sir.
Excellent. Phelps strolls down the steps from the helm, still in, just has like a fur coat, like a simple plain fur coat over his uniform, has his Commodore hat and everything. Goes, all right, everyone down the gangplank. Make sure we're gonna have to grab this piece of shit longboat, and we're gonna have to make a trek. You look across; it's about a half a mile trek from the Ponderosa to the McCready.
I make my way down first, and
Okay.
I just walk over to the rope attached to the lifeboat and kind of hoist it, wrap it around my chest, and start getting ready to pull it.
Perfect. Millwall gathers behind you.
I like run up right after him and like grab a rope because I'm trying to take it seriously.
Yeah,
Even though I
perfect.
probably weigh like 115 pounds.
Yeah, I just turn and look at you, and I'm like, oi,
Hello,
walk,
sir.
walk ahead of me, make sure I don't trip.
I can do that, sir. Would you like me to poke it with like a stick, sir?
No.
Okay, sir.
Millwall goes, try your best not to poke anything, Kip.
I want to make sure the ice isn't fragile, so.
Good. Reeves, are you walking alongside or are you going to be helping Pool?
I'm gonna be helping Pool. Best I
I'm
can.
gonna I'm gonna walk alongside as well.
Perfect. The doctors put their bags in the longboat. You can see Phelps is kind of looking over the horizon, and then you hear over the din of the men working in the bow of the ship. They're starting to lower down this sailor in the diving suit, and it looks oddly funny, but also oddly terrifying, as like they have made a hole in the ice to where it is gathered and crunched up, and where you can see some of the other sailors are starting to chip away of what's holding on to the bow, and he's just like holding on tightly, and you hear "Excuse me. I hope you weren't planning to make your way to the McCready without me." And you see a man in a fur cap, fur mittens, and a fur coat start climbing very trepidatiously over the deck, over the edge of the ship, down the gangplank. Mr. Lombardi, who was not wearing proper boots for the snow. He's wearing like very fine Italian leather boots. Very fine clothing, and he has with him one of those old clipboards. It's just like a hunk of wood that can hold an inkwell and has a candle spot for it. And he's got a lantern in his other hand. And he goes, "As a representative of the company, I'm sure that you all know that I need to take stock in what things are available on the McCready. That means I'll be keeping an eye on all of you." And
I wouldn't presume to know anything like that, sir. It's entirely your business, sir.
Are you gonna be wearing those shoes?
"What's wrong with my shoes?"
Oh, there's plenty of ice. You're gonna slip, fall. You don't want to get hurt, do you?
Go ahead and give me an empathy and manipulation roll there, Navigator Good.
So with the stress dice, do I replace one of? I would be rolling 4. Would I replace one with the stress dice?
You add the stress dice along with it. So with the stress system, the panic system, you get more chances to succeed, but you also get more chances to fail.
Cool. So I got a 1, not on the stress dice, but I did get a 6.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So you do succeed, and you got a 1, but it was not on the stress dice. So you don't panic, which is good.
Thank God.
Yeah, for right now especially. Lombardi looks at you, and you look at him just plainly, just like you know what you've been doing, and he goes, "Fair. I shall return." And moments pass, and he comes back with just some simple boots that seem like they're better fitted for the ice.
I suppose that'll do for now.
And you're all...
I turn to Yeoman Tenpenny and I'm like, "Should I have fetched him his shoes, sir? It's like going to be a mark against me."
No.
There shouldn't be a mark against you.
Okay, all right. Thank you both.
Let him deal with his own fucking shoes.
You
I
all...
agree with that.
You all make your way across this ice. It's about a half mile towards the other ship. As you're making your way, the sounds that are happening from the Ponderosa are quickly drowned out by the wind. It is howling, to say the least. And you can hear there are, off in the distance, the cries and the cracks of other ice colliding against each other, far off in the distance. It is a desolate wasteland in the Arctic Sea. No reason why there should be anyone here that does not belong here. You're making your way across, and I just need each of you to go ahead and give me a strength and stamina roll, please. And I'm going to be rolling for the others as well. Oop.
That one.
Okay. 3 successes. 1. Perfect. Ooh. Okay. Oh, excellent. Okay. And how are you, Navigator Good? Any successes?
I did not get a success on that one.
As you are all making your way across the ice, it's routine. You've gotten used to it, making your way across, each of you in your own way, except for Mr. Lombardi, who, at a moment's notice, is not paying attention to where Yeoman Tenpenny is telling to step and where Kip is telling to step, and everybody else is paying attention. And there's a sharp crack as his foot goes through the ice. And he grabs onto you, Navigator Good. You're the closest one, unluckily, the closest one to you. And you feel yourself be tugged down and then drop down as he starts slipping and sliding into the water. And you start feeling yourself dragged with. Now, Tenpenny, you did get 2 extra successes. So with stamina, you can give 1 success to another PC in the same situation as you. You can gain +1 modification to a later skill roll, or you don't need to roll this same roll in the future, or you impress someone.
I will give one of my successes to our good navigator here.
Excellent.
I appreciate that.
Excellent. And you've got 1 more as well.
Oh, Lord.
You get 1 for each success.
Ooh. Do I like
Just
Lombardi
save it for a
enough?
skill roll for later.
Yeah, I'll save it for later. I don't like Lombardi that much.
Perfect. You go ahead and real quick, Tenpenny, you drop the rope and you go and you grab Navigator Good and hoist him. And strength, it comes naturally with the job, and it looks to everybody else, it looks like it's just really quick. And now you feel yourself get back on your feet real quickly before you realize that Mr. Lombardi does not have as much strength as the rest of you, and his hands slip off of your pants, and he falls into the water. Luckily, it's only waist deep, and he goes, "Oh dear me! Oh dear me! Oh! And he starts clambering out, and
I'm gonna reach over
Yeah.
and just grab the back of his shirt and pull him straight up out of the hole.
I'm just gonna look directly at him and be like, "What the hell are you doing? You could have killed both of us."
He foists and he goes, "How am I supposed to know? I'm not used to being on the ice like this. Curse this land. Curse it." He picks up his clipboard and he goes, "I'm soaked to the bone." You've
Pay
already
attention to where you're stepping next time.
You've already made your way halfway back, and he looks back at the Ponderosa and he goes, "We'll try."
There'll be some dry clothes on the ship we're heading to. You can deal with it then.
He gives you
Keep moving to stay warm. I'm gonna walk over and pick up the rope again.
And you all grab your way and you start making your way forward. Takes too much time, not too much longer, before you start finding a routine, stepping out. Lombardi is complaining the entire time. And finally, you find yourselves looming, or coming up to the Macready, it looming over you. A big ship, the Vesuvius class, just like the Ponderosa. And you can see now exactly what happened, as it seems that the iceberg that it ran aground has crashed into the side of it and ripped. It took an awful lot of force to maneuver this ship to where the ice broke through its hull. And it seems that before it didn't look like it had taken on water, but it's kind of tilted with the bow in the air, and it seems that probably the lower decks of the stern have taken on a bit of water. As you can see, there is water lapping up against the edges of it.
Certainly ships in the next few years will figure out how to make their hulls waterproof, and this will never happen again.
One can only hope, kid.
You start making your way, and Phelps, Chief Officer, First Officer Phelps goes, "All right then, let's go ahead, set aside the lifeboat. Let's grab our supplies. Let's make our way up there." It seems that and he looks over on you can see the port side, and he kind of walks his way around the stern of the ship, and he looks around and he goes, "Curious. It seems that they had a camp set up." And he starts walking towards the starboard side of the ship.
I'm gonna make sure that the lifeboat is safely stowed.
Mm-hmm.
And focus on that, and then once I've done that and anchored it, I'm going to and grab my harpoon out of it. I'm gonna follow.
Perfect. The doctors both grab their bags and grab their supplies from them. I'm assuming Reeves, you grab some of the guns that you had, and kind of make like a tent of sorts with some of the muskets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to I kind of want to assess how shaky does the boat kind of look? Is it kind of like half in and stuck there? Does it look like it's kind of in a solid piece of mass ice, or does it look like that this thing can go at any moment?
Go ahead and give me a wits and observation roll, please. Or wits and survival, whatever you prefer.
No successes.
No
It's
successes.
fine. It's
including
fine.
including a fail on my stress die. I don't know if that's a thing.
Did you get a 1 on your stress die?
No.
You only got to look out for a 1 on your stress die.
Woo!
As you look and assess the situation that it's in, yeah, it crashed through the hole, but this thing seems to be steadily in the ice. It seems that the ice has had plenty of time to freeze into the ship, so it seems sturdy enough.
I'm gonna go in the ship.
You on the ship? All right, perfect. Mr. Lombardi is making his way over as everyone kind of makes their way over to the side. Are you making your way to the side of the ship as well, Navigator and Kip?
I'm gonna grab one of the pistols that he had,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna follow him into the ship.
I was in the front poking the ice with the blunderbuss, so I don't know.
Perfect.
I'm probably right up against the thing, like poking it with the gun.
Perfect.
That's a good idea.
Yeoman, you go ahead and get the lifeboat. Everybody has dumped their goods out of it. You go ahead, like turn it over on it upside down, tip it so it doesn't float off or anything like that. It's much harder to pull away. You go ahead and tie off. You find like an outcropping of ice where you can kind of make your own little hold for it to tie a rope around.
Yep.
And you go ahead and grab your harpoon and make your way over as well.
Did I climb up? Says I'm adept at climbing. I climbed a lot of trees. If it'll hold my weight, that's a good sign, right? No?
One.
Oh, okay, I could be wrong.
I just looked down at myself, who probably weighs almost 3 times what Kip does.
I mean, it's a better sign. If it's going to collapse under my weight, then we better know that now.
Lombardi goes, "That's not a bad idea at all."
Thank you, sir.
Of
Why
course.
don't we make Lombardi do it?
Lombardi probably weighs less.
You could hear some chuckles from Millwall and even from Dr. Griffin. Lombardi goes, "I'll see you here that I have a job to do. I have to take stock of the what the quartermaster had on record, everything of that sorts."
All right, milady. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's only fair that you do this because you tried to pull me into the water earlier.
Gunsmith Reeves, Mr. Reeves. I don't mean to be rude, sir, but you're being offensive to ladies right now by calling him that.
You're right. You know, I think it is proper if he does go in that boat. He's strong enough, and we saw how nimble he was. I'm sure he'll be just fine.
I just don't want to do a disservice to ladies by comparing him to one.
Of course not. I've met many a lady who have been far more interesting and far more strong than this little bug.
I haven't, sir, but I hope to in my future.
One day you'll be a man.
Yes, sir. I'm
Um,
looking forward to it, sir.
Millwall looks over at Lombardi and goes, "Never worry, Mr. Lombardi. I'll be right behind you, making sure that you have sure footing." Phelps goes, Now. Let's just take an assess of the situation. We shall climb up accordingly." As you all make your way to the starboard side of the McCready, you see that it's kind of tipped slightly towards that side. And you see that there is, in fact, a camp with, like, tents set up, canvas tents set up, and you can see there's burned out fires. They don't have embers on them anymore. And there seems to be some kind of dried brown patches in the snow. And you now notice that it seems that they have destroyed a side of the hull and made a gangplank of sorts to go into the side of the hull, not going in from the deck. So,
Oh, look, we can just walk in.
Yeah, that's very convenient of him.
I'm just gonna walk over towards the camp and inspect it, see if I can figure out like how old it is.
Mhm.
When was the last time that fire was lit? Is it completely just like wet again, or is there still like some dryness to it?
Excellent. Everybody else, what are you doing?
I want to
Okay,
try
we
to
get-
see. Oops,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, please.
My gosh.
Too
I
polite
was
on
just gonna
Ponderosa.
go. Can we? Can we actually make it to the hole, the busted out part of the hole?
It does seem that the gangplank reaches the ground into the busted out hole. It seems like they had made, instead of even having to deal with bringing it over the top deck, like they had abandoned the top deck. Like it's freezing out here, so they're like, there's no need for us to be up here on the top. So they just made a hole in the side.
So can I go ahead and go over to the hole in the hole
Mhm.
and kind of not go in, but just kind of like peek in and see if there's any sign of life, any movement?
Perfect. Yeah. And Reeves.
Yeah, I want to kind of look around on the floor, around the hole, to see if there's kind of any evidence that I would recognize of any kind of, I don't know, struggle or a type of fire that's from any kind of accelerant or anything like that.
Excellent. And Kip.
I'll be scampering up the gangplank and just following everybody's lead at this point.
Perfect. Kip, you
Like,
follow.
it's like, yeah, if like they all stop at the hole, but I'll like stop at the hole and kind of like look around, just like they are, as
Perfect.
if I'm going to find anything.
Go ahead and give me a roll, Tenpenny, of wits and survival.
Mhm.
Mr. Reeves, go ahead and give me wits and ranged combat. Navigator Good, give me wits and observation. And Kip, go ahead and give me empathy and command. One success.
So this is going to be fun. I got a 1 on my stress die.
Perfect.
I actually got a success, so
Perfect.
which is interesting because I have no command whatsoever.
And I got 3 6s.
You're great.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So, your current stress level, you add 1 stress level there. Navigator Good. I'm going to kind of go one by one here. I need you to add your stress, roll 1d6 and add your stress level, please.
For me?
Yes.
I didn't fail on the stress level. Didn't get the 1d6 either.
Perfect. Okay. And what was the total of that?
Altogether,
Yeah.
that'd be a 14.
Perfect. Okay. Yeoman Tenpenny, you start looking around the ground, and you realize that they had taken bits of the furniture from the McCready, and they had formed fires and everything. And you see that it's been a while. They're cold. The fires are cold. You start kind of feeling them. They're not wet, but it seems like they're frozen over. Mr. Reeves, you're looking around the edge where the hole is grafted onto the ice, or the ice is grafted onto the hole, rather, and you don't notice anything of, like, sabotage, anything nefarious, like there's any gunpowder used around there, but you do notice, you have a keen, like, nose for this kind of thing. You live in the gun hold, in the powder hold, and you notice that there are expended cartridges and caps, and there's also flecks of gunpowder on the ground around the hole, as if someone has taken a firing line in like a form of like a normal like a firing line of some sorts.
So shooting all in kind of a bunch of shots in one direction.
In one direction, it seems, from what you're able to see. Kip, you notice that Officer Phelps and the doctors are looking around the tents. And you notice Navigator Good going up the gangplank. Lombardi is talking with Millwall about some of the gear that you see that is like just strewn across, and he's focusing on the fact that they have abandoned pots and plates all around. There's no sense of form to them. It just seems they've been dropped wherever. At the same moment that when you're poking around the fire, Mr. Tenpenny, you notice that there's a bone in the fire. It seems cracked. It seems burnt. And you kind of hold it up, and it looks almost like a femur. Navigator Good, they've set up a canvas tarp to cover the hole in the hull. And you peel that back, and then Kip, you're following behind him, and then you see Navigator Good go sheet white. As you see there in the galley, the hole has been made directly to the galley. About 4 men, frozen solid, sitting at a table. And before them on the table, there are pieces of human remains on plates in front of them.
Lord.
And you're sheet white, and you try to scream, but you can't. And you're staring at this. And Kip, you notice this.
Kip wants to know what he sees, so Kip's gonna go up and look.
You go ahead, you look in.
What is it, sir?
No, Kip.
Is it a bear? Is it one of those polar bears?
It is indeed not a polar bear, but you see the very same scene that I described to Navigator Good. And I do need Kip for you to add a stress dice. And do roll a d6 for me, please.
Is there a random d6?
Yeah, and add your stress level to it.
6.
6. Perfect. Okay. You feel yourself about to vomit, but you stifle it down, which kind of snaps Good you out of it, and you realize that Kip is looking at what you're seeing.
Kid, no, and I'm gonna try to like close the top and pull him away.
Yeah. Phelps goes, "Oi, what's that up there?"
We got dead in here, sir.
I think they were eating somebody else. It turned to cannibalism in the desperation, sir.
And you see
It's a horrible thing.
Lombardi go into a tent, and he goes, "Oh God!" and then turns out of the tent and then starts throwing up on the ice, closing the tent flap.
I'm holding the bone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk over and look in the tent.
You're just like tapping the bone against your like calf as you're walking.
Yeah. Just
You walk over, and Lombardi's like has like a handkerchief up and goes, "Please, please, you do not want to see that."
I just look.
As you open up the tent flap, and you see a gentleman, it could have been a sailor at one point, is on the ground, and you see that there is a body that is in a fetal position beside him that has been frozen solid beside this body, and this body has an arm removed, it has a leg removed, it has ear, like all the extremities removed from it, but it was a semblance of a man once before, but no
Kip
longer.
is like trying to keep a brave face in front of Good, and is like, well, at least there's blessedly no smell, right, sir?
Guess that's one way to look at it, kid. I don't really agree with you, but
I mean, I've been around dead pigs and things in the summer, and boy, do they stink.
There ain't no dead pig in there.
I'm gonna
No, that's sir.
I want to look in the tent as well to see. I'm gonna kind of peer. Behind.
I'm using the femur to push the tent flap aside. I just pushed it a little bit further so you can see around me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the tent and look closer at the body.
Okay.
And I want to try to see if there's any kind of bullet holes.
Go ahead and give me you are more than welcome to make me a wits observation, wits survival, or wits range combat. I think any of those three.
While he's doing that, I just look over at Phelps. I'm like, "Sir." Gesture my head over here. Sorry for him to come over.
He's gone stone-faced as like Millwall and the doctors are looking in another tent.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get, Reeves?
2.
So, and what did you roll with it? Observation?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. You succeed. And along with that, you get to see what happened here, or what caused this. Which one of those questions do you want to tack on whether or not you see bullet wounds as well?
I guess the best way for me to answer that is to tell you what Reeves is trying to look for.
Yes.
What I'm trying to see is if this is something, if this person was killed, if there's bullet holes, then the assumption is there that he was killed for this.
very quickly and plainly, you notice that there is, in fact, a bullet hole right in the temple. Quickly and cleanly, enter-exit wound, which is strange, because typically, it seems like typically with being shot, it rattles around a little bit. But it seems like the muzzle, there is like a singe right up against it, like it was put right across its head. Very cleanly, very quickly. But yeah, it seems that something muzzle loaded was used against him. And as you look to the side, you can see a ball has lodged into a desk that has been set up as well. You can see it kind of sticking out as well.
Oi, Tenpenny.
Yeah.
They knew what they was doing.
Oh yeah.
Phelps goes, by God. All right, get it together, chaps.
I just gotta shake the bone I'm holding and look at it and look at him. And just nod.
If this news gets out, if anyone hears about this, oh goodness gracious.
It's not too surprising.
Not too surprising
like this.
indeed.
Well, we in the middle of nowhere. We can haul them off into the water and let her take them. If you want to quiet this up, I'm sure we could, but this was definitely intentional.
Mr. Reeves, we will see what we are assessing here, and then we will make a decision on how to take it. We will take this to Captain Childs.
Right. He's the boss.
Gentlemen, doctors, I need you here with me. We will figure out who we have. Kepling, Good, Tenpenny, Reeves, take Mr. Lombardi on board. We need to find a manifest. We need to see who we can come across. And God help us. Maybe we can figure out what exactly happened here, what caused this. Millwall, you stick with me. I feel like we're going to need your heft around here.
All right, sir. Of course, sir. We're looking for papers. Yes.
Papers, survivors, any of that.
I don't know if there are any. I don't know if there are any survivors in there, to be honest. We got 4 dead in there already.
I'd be surprised.
5 if you count the one on the table.
Unless one's hiding.
That's true.
You see Biltmore and Griffin, Dr. Griffin. The doctors are immediately putting on masks of sorts on, and they're getting ready to start handling the deceased. Phelps is poking around with his saber into the ice, looking around. He's looking at papers that are on the desk, and Millwall is starting to move some of the deceased out, making it easier for the doctors. Do you 4 make your way with Lombardi up the gangplank?
I'm gonna walk over to the ship. I'm just like tossing the beamer up in the air so it spins, and I catch it. I'm just doing that while I walk over.
Ghastly. Also, you do, for all seeing the bodies, you do add a level of stress dice. Kip already got his. Good already got his. So yeah, just seeing this, that adds stress. It adds duress. You all make your way up the gangplank, and it feels like as soon as you walk into the galley of the ship, the wind is kind of closed off, and it's replaced with creaking. And you can see lanterns hanging up that have died out. Lombardi is like, this will never go well. This will never go well at all. Let's just do our best to recover what we can, and we move on away from here. We've done our business, and we just grab the manifest, we grab these poor souls, and we move out of here.
What do you mean, grab these poor souls?
The deceased, bring them back home to their families.
That's not how it works at sea, sir.
Nah.
By
How
God,
long did it take us to get here? You think you're gonna last bodies in there for another 2 months?
We'll give him a proper burial at sea. Don't worry about it.
you see Lombardi is doing mental gymnastics as he's realizing what you're saying of like taking frozen corpses in a hole over for 2 months, for 3 months.
I like how there's one person on the ship more naive than Kip. It makes me
and he goes, "Oh God, the smell." What you see before you use the galley, there's tables and chairs set up, and you can see there are occasional hammocks set up as well. You can see the kitchen, the cook's station, and you see that there have been boxes strewn across here of like supplies that have been opened and have been torn into. You can now see that there's also frozen, dried blood on the walls. There's also on the nearest columns to you.
I think that's Rust Kid.
Oh, okay.
Wood don't. I don't think wood rusts.
You see there are hallways leading towards the aft of the ship towards the stern, and then also heading towards the bow that lead to other cabins. And there is a hatch that leads down to the lower holds, as well as there is a hatch with steps that lead to the top deck. Mr. Lombardi goes, I guess we should start, I suppose.
Oi, what are we looking for?
We're looking for a manifest, any survivors, also maybe the captain's log as well, see what happens.
So, captain's cabin, any kind of bosun? That's really we should be
Split up.
starting.
We're gonna split up. One take up, one take down.
Makes sense.
I'll
Make
go
it work.
down.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go with Reeves.
I don't do much with writing, sir. Do you need my help, Mr. Lombardi?
No, I shall make sense of what happens. I'll look at the officers' cabins, start there. Hopefully it's a far less ghastly scene than what's... And he looks at the dead that are just frozen in place. Hopefully it's much more manageable.
I hope so, sir.
Right.
Are there any
Correct.
bodies in here?
Yeah, on the galley, at the tables, there are 4 that are around the table, and then there's one, there's remains in front of them. And there's chewing marks, bite marks into the remains. And you just see this gentleman, they look like they might be, officers, or, ranked sailors at the most. They're not yeomen, they're not just sailors, they're not cabin boys. They have the uniform of the British Royal Navy on. And you can tell that they have, napkins in, like they had sat down for a meal, and they were just tearing into it.
As I'm kind of making my way to go down into the bowels of the ship, I'm just going to kind of glance over at these bodies and see if maybe I can catch the glimpse of a butt of a gun on any of them.
Go ahead and... Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and say just plainly, not even having to roll. You do see on one of them there is a pistol that's sticking out of the side of their belt.
Yeah, I'm just going to swiftly pull it out from the holster or his...
You pull it out, and it takes a little bit.
Yeah.
As the metal of the barrel has frozen solid to the belt of this officer, and then when you tug it off, the belt breaks, and a piece of the belt comes along with it. As you're up close, you can't smell. There's no smell of this dead because it is frozen solid. There's no smell or anything. It doesn't smell like a butcher shop. And you realize, and you're up close with this man's face, and there's bits of flecks of meat in his lip, and there's stains on his chin, and he seems like a young officer that is just calmly, and frozen solid in his hand is a fork and a knife. And you see there is a little bit that's stuck on the edge of the fork. And you just take the pistol off.
It's a shame what these seas do. It's a real shame.
Sir, my sister once read me a penny dreadful about the Donner Party, sir. Do you think this is that kind of situation? Do you think they just became so desperate that they ate each other?
Looks like it.
I would agree with that.
Oh, I can't imagine. I hope we're not stuck here.
Lombardi walks off.
Then again, I wouldn't be very good eating.
Lombardi might.
Stringy.
I don't think he tastes very good, honestly.
You hear from further down, I can hear you.
Yeah, we know.
That's kind of the point, man.
I'm so sorry, sir.
So Navigator Good and Kip, are you going up above deck?
Yep. Since they're gonna go down, I guess we can take up.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's start with Tenpenny and Reeves. As you make your way to the hatch that leads to the lower hold, you get to the hatch and you realize that it's been nailed closed.
Wait.
It's been secured.
Yeah. From up here.
Weird. It means there's something down there. Someone, maybe.
It'd be warmer.
Reeves takes his fist and does a real solid knock. Oi! Someone down here!
Echoes around the galley. No reply.
We could do a couple of swift and strong pulls and pushes, and maybe we can open this bad boy up.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna set the harpoon down, and I'm going to attempt to open it by myself.
Excellent. Go ahead. If you're not taking a help action, go ahead and just give me a strength. And let's get strength and stamina roll.
Okay.
Or close combat. Either one works.
Okay. And I'm gonna add my extra die.
Excellent.
That was worth it. 4.
4 successes.
It's a large
Nice.
dice pool. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
That's why
right,
I
yeah.
said I could probably do it by myself.
Yeah. You quickly are pulling up, tugging. So you have 1 success. That means that you do succeed. You also can gain a +1 modification to a later skill. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge again. You impress someone, or you can give 1 dice to someone that's in the same situation, which there's no one in the same situation.
I would like to take 2 for future rolls and impress Reeves.
Perfect. You take 2. Yeah, you take 2, and then you impress her immediately. So you have those on standby, and then immediately you just look at your hands, kind of warm them up together, and just one solid, like you're a championship power lifter. You squat down, and then and then you hear a crack as the nails that were driven into this hatch break off. They're so frozen that it just opens, and the hatch creaks open and shifts, and some icicles fall down, and then immediately you get this sense of warm from down below as warm air kind of rushes out.
7 hells.
Heh. Work on a ship long enough. Like I said, might be warm down there.
Holy shit. All right. Big man, let's do this.
Hoist the harpoon back up, pick the femur up, flip it, catch it.
You both make your way down the steps to the lower hole. Kip and Good, you make your way up to the top deck. The hatch here, not so hard trying to lift it open. It just takes one good push, and then you hear ice breaking. And as you walk off, walk up, you see snow has settled on the upper deck, all over the place, like a blanket, thick blanket of snow. And it's odd. It's still up here. The ropes have icicles hanging from them. So does the rigging. The sails are tattered, and some of them flap in places, but the canvas is kind of frozen in other bits, so it looks odd as near the tears it's flapping. And you look up towards the helm, and it just seems odd. It's quiet. There's no one about. And you do see the door to the captain's office below the helm is closed. But the stained glass has broken on where the windows would be from the front end, and it seems like there have been planks nailed up to keep the cold out.
Should we at least check the office for a manifest or whatever he was looking for, sir?
At this moment, I'm gonna take out my tobacco pouch and put some chew in my mouth and hand it to Kip. You ever tried this before?
No, thank you, sir.
It helps calm my nerves. But yeah, I agree. We need to check it.
You
Head.
You make your way over to the office door. As you try to open it, the cold metal doorknob, ornate, resists as if it's locked. And more so, doorknobs typically don't lock on ships, but it seems like it has been fused somehow. You might have to give it a good shove, or maybe look at the tumbler, the lock above it, and see.
You say it had a window on it.
Yes, it did. That had some planks in the window.
Oh, so it's planked shut.
Not completely planked shut, though. There are some places where someone small might be able to squeeze through.
Hey, Kip, do you think you could reach your hand and then maybe unlock the door for us?
I could try that, sir, and if not, I might be able to wiggle my way in and unlock it from the inside.
Whichever works for you. Definitely would help both of us.
All right, sir, of course. Yeah.
Kip, go ahead and give me a agility and mobility roll, please. And if you're assisting Kip, you can go ahead and add 1 die as well.
That's my best dice pool. So. Meanwhile, I rolled 10 dice. Great. 2 successes, and my stress die was a 2. So.
Perfect.
Good job, stress die.
Good job, stress die. All right. So for 1 success, you do succeed, and you're able to gain +1 for a later skill. You impress someone, or you're able to give someone in the same situation as you a success.
Oh, Kip desperately wants to impress every single man on the ship. So
Perfect.
Kip will spend to impress.
Kip, that was impressive. I didn't expect you to get in this so easy.
Immediately,
Thank you,
Kip clambers up and slides through between 2 planks that you did not think that somebody moves like a rat. Gets his head in, and as soon as he gets the head in, it's just like, yep, just you can see his boots kicking out, and then he just slips through, and you fall down. And it's slightly warmer in here too, Kip. As you look around, it seems like this whole office is frozen in time. You see there are 2 chairs, leather ornate, that are in front of a big, massive desk. There are bookshelves with books from all over the world laden in them. You see a globe to one side, and you see there's piles of furniture that have been smashed to bits, and there is a place where the fire used to sit. As you look above, you see that the stained glass behind the captain's desk is still completely intact, frozen over, almost like a church like a cathedral's like altar above it. And there are it's awe-inspiring almost. You haven't been in many offices of a captain. You've been in Child's once when he asked you to fetch something for him, and this is your second captain's office. Which, wait till they hear back about this back at home. Sitting.
Kip. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I will try to let him in first thing before I even get really hardcore looking around.
You see that the key is in the lock of the door. There's nothing like they didn't try to keep the door shut or anything. Nothing nailed in, and you just turn the lock of the door and open it, and it kind of resists against the frost, but you're able to pull it a little bit. And good navigator. You were allowed entry into the office.
So as
Now
the
we can
door
both see
opens-
whatever's inside.
Yeah, so what do we got in here? And I'm gonna walk in.
It's like a palace, sir. It's a typical captain's cabin, sir.
Smells of wood, a little bit of frost, some tobacco. Behind the desk, sitting in the captain's chair, you see, pen in hand, there's a book open, hand resting on it, almost as if she's not frozen. Well, she's frozen in time, but she's not frozen. You see a close cropped haircut and a very regal looking uniform of one Captain Jane Carpenter, the captain of this ship. Stern look on her face as she has the log in front of her, and she seems to be writing something in it, frozen in time, but her skin doesn't look frozen. And she's just sitting there staring at the logbook, just kind of stuck in time.
It's like waxwork, sir.
It's odd, honestly.
Like at Madame Tussauds.
I'm gonna walk over to her and put my finger on her face to see, like, just if there's anything there.
If you touch her skin feels like skin. It's warm, like she's alive. And you can see that she's slightly breathing. It seems like she's checked out, though.
Is she alive, sir? Should I get the doctor?
I could feel. She seems to be breathing. Maybe we should do that. I think we should do that. Maybe.
So Kip
ma'am,
like
can you hear
runs
me?
out to the rail of the ship and like yells at the doctor
Okay.
and says like, Dr. Biltmore, Dr. Phelps,
You
you have to get up here.
look out and you see that Mr. Millwall is gone,
Mm-hmm.
as is Mr. Phelps. You can't see them from this position of the railing, but you
Dr.
do
Biltmore
see
there?
Dr. Biltmore and Dr. Griffin. They both turn and look at you.
Okay. Dr. Biltmore, Dr. Griffin. Need you up here right away. There might be a woman alive. The captain.
They look at each other, and then they turn and they start making their way towards the ship.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
sir. They're
look
in the
in-
office on the deck.
I'm gonna look in the room and see if there's any blankets or anything that I can cover with. Try to keep it warm.
As you're looking around, you find there's a couple blankets over off to the side. You hear a Navigator, good. And you turn and you look over at her, and you see her mouth open as if she's about to speak. Reeves, Tenpenny, you lower yourself down the hole, and it's warm in here. It's cozy almost. It smells alive. And you see that the hallway from the hole, it stretches up. You see hammocks hanging up where some of the men have made their beds and everything. And it does. You don't see any dead or anything, but you see where it goes towards the powder hold and the store where everything, all the goods and supplies are stored. And you see it goes off towards where the steam engine is kept, more aft. So you've got the hold, which is towards the front, the bow of the ship, and then you've got the aft section has the steam engine.
Take a look around. Head towards the hold.
Yeah, let's head towards the hold.
You two make your way towards the hold, and something's off about the wall here in the hole, like in this area. It's glistening almost, like you're inside a cavern.
I get closer to it. Just kind of.
If you wish, go ahead and make me a wits medicine check. Medical aid, pardon me.
I'll add one of those extra dice to that roll.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna touch it.
Touch it.
Yeah, just like a.
I have one success.
One success. As you see Gunsmith Reeves touch it, and you're about to tell him not to, because you just realize, Reeves, it feels like flesh. Sweaty flesh. And you realize as you get up closer to it, Tenpenny, this looks like human flesh is coating the walls here. And you see that there are bits of bone and other viscera hanging out of the walls.
And I just take a big step backward.
Is it like leather or is it like alive?
Fresh,
He
alive.
said sweaty flesh. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And you both hear something moving from the hold. Like a can get knocked over.
Point my gun immediately.
Point your gun immediately, and the door creaks open a little bit.
I don't like it in here.
I shift the harpoon so that the point of it is head pointed towards the door. How much light do we have down here?
You've got your lantern's worth.
I'm gonna hand the lantern to you.
Take the lantern. You've got your
Grab
gun
it.
out.
One
And I'm
hand
gonna use
gun,
the
one hand lantern.
harpoon to open the door more.
Open the door more.
Yeah, so we can see into the hold.
And when you look into the hold, you see cans of food strewn about, unopened. Canning has been a new process recently. And a lot of the ships, these expeditions, had taken cans of food because they were able to take more food and keep it stored safely. But you see these cans are untouched. A lot. You've been getting low on your stores. Give me a wits observation roll, please.
Both
I'm
of us?
gonna-
Both of you.
Ooh. Can I push that?
Yeah. Go ahead and take a stress dice and then roll those that you didn't get a success on. One success, one success. You quickly see a body go behind a stack of cans. Somebody has moved behind it.
You're gonna want to step out of there.
And as you do that, you see a man slowly rise. And he's got
All right.
sideburns, and he's wearing a shirt, but it seems ripped in places. And he's got a wild look in his eyes.
I have the harpoon leveled towards his chest.
And he goes, "Oh, good. Oh, good, you're here. Oh, we've been stuck here for months. For months.
Easy, easy, easy. How many of there are you?
For all I know, there's just me, sir. I kind of kept myself locked down here in the hold. They threw me down here and said, off to the hold with you. And I heard noises outside, gunshots. All of them. Nobody came down for food or anything, and I've been worried. And he points over to, like, there's a little collection of cans that have been opened. And it seems like the food has been eaten out of it. And he goes, it's just been me here and the food, and I've been trying to ration as much as I can, just in case anybody else needed it, but nobody's come down here.
What's your name?
Oh,
Son?
me? Oh, it's been so long since I've... My name is Master at Arms Knowles.
Knowles. All right. I'm going to need you to slow it down. All right? Explain to me what the fuck happened and why your crew started eating each other.
They started eating each other? What the devils are you talking about? They started eating each other? Oh, God. I've been down here. I lost track of time. So we hit the ice, and we got stuck on the ice, and it ripped right into the hole. And so we were trying to make our way out of here. We were trying to fix it, and then things started getting really dicey, you see. It started with Dr. Richard Copper. Dr. Richard Copper, he's been always nice, but he started acting odd, you see. He started going mad. Got himself that snow madness. Started ranting and raving about writings and about things, markings on a wall. There's no walls around here. It's as if he wandered off. And so as we wandered off, we're wondering, oh goodness, Dr. Richard Copper. And then he went crazy, he went mad. He went after the First Officer Blair, ripped his throat out with his own teeth, so we had to lock him up. And then I started feeling a little bit eccentric. I get the shakes often, you see. And they said I was having too much trouble and problems breathing, and so they kept me locked down here, and I've been stuck down here for ages. I heard gunshots, I heard Copper, I heard screams in the night. It sounded like penguins getting ripped in half, sir.
Eccentric.
Aye.
You started acting eccentric, so they locked you down here, and you said out of breath.
Aye, I was worried. I had myself the snow sickness as well. Can we please get out of here, please? I need to get to an officer or something. I need to get back home. Me wee one's at home. He's probably grown without me there.
What do you think, Tenpenny? I'm holding the gun right at him.
I think this is a decision for Phelps.
Phelps, good. Yeah, take me to him. Right away.
No, you stay here. I got this. Reeves, go back up and grab Phelps.
Aye. No funny business,
None
little
for
man.
Me, sir.
No acting eccentric. Or we'll get eccentric on you. Don't get hurt, Tenpenny. I'll be right back. You boys have a good time. Don't play too hard. And Reeves runs up the stairs.
Reeves, you run up the stairs and you see Mr. Lombardi staring at the bodies on the table, and he's got a book in his hands.
We got some trouble.
He looks up at you and he goes, "Trouble? Aye. Plenty of trouble." And he opens his mouth. And at the same time, up in the captain's office, the captain looks at you good. And Kip, you're making your way back and you see the doctors stop on the gangplank. And you're looking at Mr. Lombardi, Mr. Reeves. And Tenpenny, you're holding out your harpoon to this Knowles. And they all begin to sing at the same time. I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow you will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her." And you can hear from the voices at the galley table and down from the tent as well. "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her." And we are going to take a break there, and we will be right back after a quick 5-minute bio break.
Ooh.
And we are back with more Alien the RPG, Terror on the HMS Ponderosa, where we just left off. Each of our members of our crew noticed people singing on different parts of the ship. As that last line is stopped, Navigator, good. The captain blinks, and she looks at you, she goes, odd.
What do you mean odd?
I didn't know I was singing. Was I singing?
Yeah, you were singing a shanty. Why? Are you okay?
I believe so. Are you okay? Who are you?
I'm good. I'm with the Ponderosa. We're here to rescue whoever we can,
Rescue.
including you.
You made it. Oh, good. She looks out at the captain's log and starts to close it. If you want to, you can make a wits observation for me. Roll real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Luckily, neither of my stress die were 1.
So you see it, and you can get any extra question you want off of this, essentially. So what you see before you close is you can see there's some writing going back in the log that just looks like normal handwriting. And as it gets closer to where she was actually writing, it starts becoming more like chicken scratch. More like shorthand combined with marks, arches, dots, and dashes, almost like she was writing in some odd Morse code. She closes it and she goes, is it just you here? Is the rest of the crew here?
No, the rest of some of my crew's here. What were you writing in that book? It looked like Morse code. What were you trying to say?
And she goes, I was just taking stock of our situation, maybe writing a letter before,
In Morse
case. And she kind of looks at the captain's log as she closes it. She goes, I haven't had my wits about me as of late.
Yeah, you've got people eating each other downstairs. What's going on here?
Eating each other? Cannibalism on board the McCready? No.
I think you need to see what's downstairs then. Then I'm gonna try to help her up and
She
move her outside.
takes it, and then she kind of stands and gets her bearings. She gets kind of woozy, and she goes, what's your name, sailor?
I'm good. Just good.
Good.
Just in case. I'm gonna just
Perfect.
say that skeptically, just in case.
Just in case. She goes, good. Let's get down. Kip, the singing stops, and you see the doctors kind of stop and kind of shake their heads, and then they make their way towards the gangplank. You can hear talking coming from the captain's office.
Yeah, I'm gonna run back in there as they're making their way out.
Mm-hmm. As they make their way out, and
Hello, Mum. I'm so glad to see you walking around, Mum.
a lad here, a boy.
Yes, Mum. I'm the cabin boy on the HMS Ponderosa, Mum.
Indeed
If
you
it please
are.
you, Mum.
Kip, come and help me with her. Help me get her
course, sir.
downstairs.
Of course, sir. I go and I take her arm.
I'd be careful.
I'm half her size, probably.
Be careful with this one. I don't trust her. Might be good to.
You're not up here.
As you're walking down, helping her down, you see Reeves, Lombardi, and the men at the table have stopped singing, and the men at the table keep on going to be frozen, and Lombardi is staring at you and going, what are you looking at? And then the doctors walk in, they go, oh dear, there's more in here. Biltmore goes, there's more in here. Oh,
Oh,
Griffin.
did Good grab the captain's log?
The captain has the captain's
Oh,
log
okay,
under
okay,
her
okay.
arm.
Making
Yeah.
sure. If thought I was gonna grab it. Okay,
Mhm.
sorry.
Lombardi goes, well, what the devil are you looking... Oh, good, a survivor. Good,
Yes,
a
the
survivor.
captain.
And the boy.
It's
It's the captain, sir.
The captain goes, I, Captain Carpenter of this ship. What? Oh my god. As she looks towards the table that has the remains and the men frozen, she goes, oh my god.
It's around the gas flame, Mum.
How long have I been out?
I don't know,
Wouldn't
Mum.
be
We
able to
just
tell
got
you.
here.
Oh god. Is there anyone else here?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't
hear
know.
them.
You can hear talking coming from the hold, and then Knowles goes, as he stops singing, he goes, more people. That sounds like the captain.
I'm still pointing a harpoon at him.
Still pouring the harpoon. He's like, Hey there, fella. You mind pointing that somewhere else there?
Yeah, I do.
All right, fine. He looks around. Give me a wits observation roll there, real quick, Tenpenny.
Okay. Use my last +1.
Perfect.
1.
You notice his eye kind of, as he turns his head and he's like looking around the hole, his eye kind of stays in place and then it flicks with it, almost like it had like lost track of itself, and it corrected itself. And you notice like underneath the collar of his ragged shirt, you see there's like a cut, like a clean cut where you can see there's like a flap of skin there. And he like kind of looks around. He goes, "Oi, what the shit you looking at?"
I just narrow my eyes a little bit.
Back up at the galley, the captain goes, "Who's the commanding officer here?" Lombardi goes, "Well, I am a representative of the..." And the doctors both at the same time say, "First Officer Phelps."
Yeah, where's Phelps?
Biltmore goes, "He and Millwall went to go take a look at the surrounding area, see if there was any tracks. Millwall noticed some footprints leading off and the dragging, as if someone had taken one of the lifeboats and dragged it away from the site."
Does that mean that Lombardi's in charge right now?
No, he doesn't have any rank on the ship, sir. That's not how it works, sir.
The captain goes, "As I am the captain of this vessel, I am the ranking officer, it seems."
True, Mum. Yes.
You're smart, aren't you?
Not especially, Mum, but we are on your ship right now, and I know how that works.
She has a slight grin. Can you go ahead and give me a wits and observation roll there, Kip? Since you were having a direct conversation with her.
2 successes, and my stress die rolled a 4. Good job, stress die.
Good job, stress die. So you do notice, and you can ask for one more detail because of this, but when she gives a slight smirk at you, you do notice that her teeth in the corner all look normal, but it looks like there's an extra tooth growing above her gum. Like it's not supposed to be there, and you don't know much about reading. And you don't know much about a lot, but you do know that your teeth are not supposed to be growing out that way, especially sharp ones. Is that
But
one?
I also know not to comment on a lady's appearance.
Exactly. And you get one more detail.
Gosh. Is there anything else about her that's odd? Like, not just, like, okay, maybe she's got, like, a tooth thing. Like, we're British. We all have tooth things.
Yeah.
But, like, is there anything else about her that just is reading as off to Kip? Like, who's, been on ships for at least a couple of years, knows how captains work, is kind of like, what's going on with her?
She's not standing like a captain. She's standing just plainly. Like a person just stands, but not somebody that holds rank on a vessel. So not somebody that... You've been around Childs enough to know that there's a certain air, a quality about how you stand, how you walk, how you carry yourself. She doesn't have that about herself at all. She seems more reserved, contained. Also, when you look at her hands that's holding the captain's log, for a moment there you think that maybe her pinky might be backwards. And then you kind of blink and you realize it's correct.
Okay, well, I mean, Kip's gonna keep this to himself for right now, because he's certainly not going to point at the captain and be like, "You're weird." Like, he wouldn't do that, so, yeah.
Dr. Griffin goes, "Look, as the medical officer on board here, I think it's best that we get the captain, and if there are any other survivors, back to the Ponderosa, and then we figure out the supply situation here." Lombardi and the Dr. Griffin looks at Lombardi, and Lombardi looks at him and goes, I've got the manifest right here. We'll be able to take stock of what they've moved through. I'll be able to do an itemized inventory, and we can take what we can, get the rest of the crew over here to carry it."
She has the captain's log, too, sir.
And you could see her kind of tighten her grip on the captain's log, and she goes, "Aye, I do. We'll be able to cross-reference information if need be, though I don't think this is the time for it. It's dreadfully cold."
We'll never do it here, Mum. We'll do it on our ship.
She smiles, and she goes, "Perfect."
I just, like, stare at her weird tooth.
it seems like it's corrected itself a little bit. It's still odd that she's got an extra one, but it's not as high up as it was that you noticed before.
All right, guess we get Reeves and Tenpenny then. Wherever they at. Well, I guess Reeves is with us.
Reeves, yeah,
So
Reeves
wherever-
is standing there. Yeah, Reeves is standing there. Kind of. Reeves,
Wherever Tenpenny is.
you're taking in this all this as you're seeing the scene before you. What is going through your mind right now?
I want to run out the ship, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I don't like what I see, and I'm fairly uncomfortable, and I don't trust this woman with very, very straight teeth, compared to mine at least.
Mm-hmm. Knowles looks at you, Tenpenny, and goes, "Looks like they're asking about us, mate. Now, you can keep on that thing pointed at me, but I think it's best if I go up with the captain and everyone and we can make our way off this cursed vessel, if it is cursed."
I didn't ask you your fucking opinion.
Oh, you didn't? Go ahead and give an empathy and command roll. You're not in a place of empathy or command, but at this moment you have a harpoon pointed at this guy's chest.
Ooh, no.
You can choose not to? No?
No, I rolled.
Yeah. No success. And he kind of looks at you and he smirks and he looks at your clothes
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, he's like, "Look, you might have the harpoon in your hand, sir, but you are not the captain of this vessel. The captain of the vessel seems to be the galley above. So, as you are not my ranking officer, you seem to be about the same rank as I am. I'm going to say that you need to gently take that harpoon off or I'm going to start screaming, and I'm going to start screaming mighty loud."
Does he move when he says that?
He puts one of his hands on the harpoon point that's aimed at his chest.
I stab him.
Woo! Okay, go ahead and
I'm going to stab him in the shoulder.
give me a close combat and strength roll. You stab him in the shoulder? Okay. Three successes. Okay. Ay, caramba. All right. So with a close combat, you get a success. You hit and you inflict damage equal to the weapon's damage rating on your opponent. What is that for the harpoon?
That would be a 2.
2 damage. All right. Now you have you got more successes. So you have stunts. You can inflict 1 more point of damage. You can choose this stunt multiple times if you roll several 6s. You outmaneuver your enemy and can trade initiative scores with them. There's no initiative pooled yet. You knock or pull a weapon or other object from your opponent. You choose which. During combat, picking up a dropped object counts as a fast action. Your opponent is knocked to the ground, or you can hold your opponent in a grapple.
Well, I have a harpoon stuck in his shoulder, which has a long reach. I'm going to pin him against the wall behind him.
Okay. You pin him in
And
the...
just hold him there with the harpoon stuck in his shoulder.
And you've got 1 more success. You can pin him to the ground, maybe maneuver it down, or you can add another extra point of damage.
I'll add an extra point of damage.
Cool. All right. 3 damage to him. I will mark that on his sheet. As you stab the harpoon through his shoulder, as he's moving it, his hand moves it so it doesn't hit him in the center. Because you're trained, you know exactly what you're doing, and it goes right through his shoulder, and he just goes. You hear for a moment, it sounds like a chorus of voices, but you just hear him go, "What the devil? Oh, fucking hell!" But it sounds like at the beginning, it sounds like 3 voices saying it. And then he's like, "You stabbed me! You fucking stabbed me!" And the rest of you in the galley can hear that. The captain looks at you and goes, "What's happening down below?"
Don't know what is happening down below.
We got your boy down there who's been locked in down in the belly of the ship for quite some time.
Is that a survivor?
Oh, yeah. He's been surviving on canned food and God knows what else while y'all have been surviving on each other.
Captain goes, "Knowles," and starts walking towards the hatch.
I don't think the captain ate anybody, sir.
She starts making her way down the hatch. You can hear behind you Tenpenny steps moving on, creaking on the wood. Is anybody following the captain?
I'm following her.
I think we all are.
Yeah, you all three follow.
Where the hell are you going?
Dr. Griffin follows behind. And the captain comes up and goes, "Oi, excuse me. Who is this that... Why do you have a harpoon in one of my sailors?" And then Knowles goes, "Captain, he stabbed me. I've been killed, I have. He's killed me."
A flesh wound. Quit your whining.
"Oh, he's killed me. Oh, yes, I can see my own innards. He's got me, he has."
You really can't see your innards, sir. It's just a shoulder wound.
Captain looks at you and goes, "Sailor, release him, please."
Which you is the captain?
Looks at Tenpenny and goes. The captain
Okay.
looks at Tenpenny and goes, "Sailor, release him." Oh. Pull it out, and he goes, "Ah!" One more. As you all see, blood goes off the tip, and she pulls the harpoon out, and a little bit of the blood goes back
In the hole?
in the hole, just a little bit.
Wait, we all noticed this?
Yeah, it's pretty evident. As you're all kind of standing around and seeing the scene, there's nothing else distracting you from the scene except for maybe the cans of bountiful food around you.
Is that what they call a sucking wound, sir?
And he goes, "Oh, it certainly sucked me. It has. Oh
I
God,
was talking to the doctor, sir.
And the doctor goes, "Let me examine it, please."
All right.
Dr. Griffin looks around and he goes, "Oh, quit your belly aching." And he goes, "He's killed me, sir. He's killed me." And he starts looking and investigating the wound. The captain goes, "I will have no more stabbings on board my vessel. Where's your officer?"
I'm gonna lean over to Reeves. You saw that, right? You saw the blood go back in.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Never seen that before in my life.
I've never
So
seen that
it's
either.
not a sucking wound then?
No, that's no such thing, kid.
No, it's called a sucking wound. It's in the Penny Dreadfuls.
It didn't suck like that.
I don't.
"Can we stop saying the word suck?" The captain says.
You know what does suck? This ship and this crew. And I don't know what kind of ship you're trying to run here, but it looks like, to me anyways, that things got out of hand.
"Sailor, what is your name?"
Reeves.
"Reeves, what is your position?"
Gunsmith.
"So I'm seeing that your name is not Captain or Chief Officer
Right,
or even Petty Officer Reeves, correct?"
right, but I am part of the crew that came here to save you, didn't I?
"Are you employed by the Royal Navy, Her Majesty's Royal Navy?"
Of course I am.
"Then by all means, while your feet are on my deck, you will call me yes ma'am, no ma'am, and you will not speak to me like you own this ship."
Oh, well, I don't mean to give any kind of disrespect, no ma'am. But one thing I do want to ask is what exactly happened in this ship?
She holds out the captain's log and she's like, "I've been trying to document it here. The men kept me locked inside my cabin.
Like your boy over here.
Knowles was down here and Knowles goes, "They thought I had the snow sickness, they did. Snow madness."
Wait, you mean to tell me that they kept you locked in that? Kip said the key was... You just unlocked it. What do you mean they kept you locked in there?
The captain looks at you and looks and goes, "I was told to stay in there, that they would keep me locked in there. To keep me safe."
I thought you said you're the captain of the ship. Why would you listen to them?
"They wanted to keep me safe, the men, they loved me."
From what? Safe from what? Him? He ain't nothing but a little ant.
"No, not from me. It was terrible. It was dreadful.
Oh, no, I mean,
Dr. Copper killed him, he did, with his own bad teeth."
Who's Dr. Carper?
Oi. Good.
Yeah,
Come here.
I'm gonna walk over. Yeah, what's up?
I nod my head towards the flesh wall.
You see Kip's head just poke into
Yeah. And you
I
look
just kind of nod my head towards the flesh wall.
and you see this wall. It kind of has like almost like a breathing capability to it, and it's sweaty.
What is that?
She's
What-
alive.
I don't.
Alive? What do you mean?
The ship.
What?
She's breathing. She is.
What
That's
is
not
that?
good. The ship is
I
not
just turned
supposed
and
to
looked at
breathe.
me. He's like, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
What is that?
Kip, can you go ahead and give me a stress roll, please? Add a d6 and add your stress level to it.
4.
4, you add another stress level.
Ah,
Yeah.
crap.
What was that? What, is it?
Hey,
They're
all right.
alive, sir. Mom, is this your ship? Mom,
She goes, what is... By...
Mom, it's breathing, Mom.
Okay, we need to get off this ship right now. Where's your officer? Where's this Phelps that you keep talking about? We need to get to the... You said the Ponderosa?
Yes, Mom. He should be outside, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Come here.
Yes, sir. Of course.
I'm just
sir.
gonna like put one giant arm on Kip's shoulders and start leading Kip towards the stairs.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I tried very hard, sir. I can't. I'm sorry,
Perfect.
sir.
You start making your way towards the steps. The doctor goes, get up. And he helps Knowles to his feet. And he goes, he's killed me, yes. Oh, I feel fine now. Oh, you've worked miracles, sir. And he's got like a patch, like a bit of like bandaged on his arm. And he like shoots a glance. Knowles shoots a glance to you, Reeves. And the captain goes, can we please make our way above deck?
Yeah, just like everything's totally normal and there's not a breathing wall. Let's go up in the top.
We are not in the means to be handling this right now. I need to speak to your captain. I need to speak to him soon.
We're never in the means to be handling this, Mom.
I agree with the kid. Everything about this is wrong.
I have to agree with you, sailor. Good. And the young one. She starts
gonna-
making her way towards the steps as well.
I'm gonna follow, but as I follow, I'm gonna kind of brush my fingers along the wall.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of moves with you, almost like it kind of like shudders in excitement from human touch.
And I'm gonna give it like a little pat, kind of like when you pat a dog.
Mm-hmm. And you can when you pat it, it makes that pat noise, like when you pat a dog or you pat somebody on their behind, and it responds. Real solid it is. You
Real solid.
kind of turn back and you see the doctor kind of looking at the wall too, and has pulled out like a pair of tweezers.
Doc, it's the strangest thing.
Aye, it is the strangest thing.
It's too bad we ain't got one of those walls back in ours, huh?
He turns and looks at you and he goes, I think it's best you move on and find Phelps. I'll take some samples.
All right, well, let me know what comes up, huh? Don't spend too long with her.
You all go up to the galley. Lombardi's not there anymore. The 4 frozen men are still there. Are you going down the gangplank?
Yeah, I'm gonna lead Kip right back outside towards that camp.
You see at the camp, Phelps and Millwall are back, and they're standing and they're talking to Lombardi and Dr. Biltmore. And they turn and look at you, and Phelps goes, we're told that we found the captain, as well as the someone else.
Aye, sir.
And anything else seems out of odds. Did we find the manifest? Lombardi says, I have the manifest here. The captain has the log.
Sir,
Aye.
there's something wrong.
What do you mean wrong?
Has the captain followed us up yet?
The captain has followed up and is walking behind you. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too close behind. Like there's some distance between you. You've made your way down the gangplank. You're in the snow. She's still at the top of the gangplank.
Okay, I'm gonna lead Kip to the side so she doesn't come near us when she comes down the gangplank.
Okay.
And I'll just say, I think it's best discussed on our way back.
Aye, I agree.
And I glance at the captain when I say that.
Maybe in private.
Go ahead and give me an empathy and for lack of a better thing, let's go empathy and survival maybe?
Oh.
You're trying to convey something? There's not like an insight. So yeah, empathy and survival. One success.
Yep.
Phelps looks at you and kind of like narrows his eyes and then looks at the captain and goes, "Yes, we have survivors. We need to get them back to the ship immediately."
Aye.
Reeves, you come out as well behind the captain, as well as Good. You both come out. You see the scene before you. Phelps goes, "All right. Millwall, Dr. Biltmore, where's Dr. Griffin?"
Oh, he's busy. He's checking out
He's down in the hold.
the horror show down there.
Doctors. Biltmore, Millwall, you stay here. You, sailor, and the captain, Captain Carpenter. And he like kind of does like a bow a little bit and then a salute. Do you feel well? Are you able to make it back to our ship? Captain goes, I think we can manage. Knowles? I mean, except for this wound, this gaping wound in my shoulder that which your sailor
I
put
just
in.
turn and look at him.
I can make it.
Hey, Tenpenny. You think it's
Wait.
You think we should let him in?
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither.
Kind of right there with you.
Right? Kip. You too?
What? I'm sorry, sir.
Hey, you doing all right?
There was a wall of skin, sir.
Yeah, I know. You know, we've been on sea for a long time, and
Sir.
situations like this stress you out. You're gonna be all right.
Phelps
kid.
goes, wall of skin. What?
Sir, I said something wasn't right.
Also, did you see she had?
I think you should see what's below deck, and maybe we ask some questions before we head back.
Also, the captain, sir. She's not right.
You know what? Fine. You and I, Tenpenny, will go down this hold. We'll see what you have to say. We'll talk to Dr. Griffin. The rest of you get ready to break and make for the Ponderosa, all right?
I just kind of look at Reeves and look at the captain, and then say, "All right."
Phelps looks at Captain and goes, Captain Carpenter, I hope you may allow me, but since I am the head of this expedition, I'm going to take command here if you do relieve your command. Captain goes, we are not on my vessel anymore, so I suppose the command is yours. What is your name? Chief Officer Phelps. Chief Officer. I look forward to meeting your captain. Captain Childs looks forward to meeting you as well. I'm glad you survived this horror show. And she goes, I had no idea it was this ghastly. All right, Tenpenny. Lead the way.
Walking back up onto the ship.
You that are remaining here outside, Knowles has sat down in one of the stools that is around the campfire, and the captain has made her way over to Lombardi. And looks and starts almost whispering to him. Tenpenny. You lead him back up, down to the hold.
Yep.
And you don't see Dr. Griffin anywhere, but you still see the wall. And
Oi. Doctor.
Phelps goes, is he not down here?
This is where we left him.
Griffin! Good doctor! Griffin? He must have wandered off somewhere with his studies. Okay, what did you want to show me? You look at the wall and he goes, good God. Is that? And he takes his saber and he pokes it. And it shudders a little bit, and you see blood trickle from where he pokes it with the saber, and he goes, oh my.
No, neither Knowles nor the captain seemed particularly fazed by it.
Can't have that at all. Can't have it at all. Odd. We should take them back to the Ponderosa, put them in the brig.
you think that's wise, sir. We didn't check near the engine. I'm gonna look for the good doctor before we head back.
Good idea. I shall go with you.
Hmm.
Provide backup. He lets you lead the way.
Okay, I'll start walking down this direction that we didn't explore.
You start making your way down there. Outside, the crew outside. You're waiting for what's happening inside, and Millwall is gathering some things, taking it over to the longboat, grabbing some supplies, grabbing the doctor's bags. Dr. Biltmore is kind of going over things in his books, and you just see Knowles taking a stick from the fire and kind of poking at the snow, and he's kind of drawing. And give me an observation roll, please. As you can kind of hear him mumbling under his breath. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high.
Got no successes on that one.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And he kind of like, every time he writes something out, he kind of like moves his boot over it and then he starts writing something else. She shipped it green and none went
Reeves.
by.
Reeves,
And it's time
Boy.
for us
that's
to leave.
not right, right? And I'm gonna point towards Knowles. It's not right.
No, he ain't right. He ain't right, but
Can you tell what he's writing?
I'm gonna. What is he writing?
You're kind of closer to him, and you can see that he's making like arches and like dashes and dots that seem similar to Morse code, but they don't seem in the right direction. And he's kind of doodling it and then wiping it away with his boot. Kip, the captain's staring at you. And you notice that the captain's eyes have two pupils in them.
Two.
Two successes.
Wait, what?
Oh, two pupils. Sorry,
Two
Jesus.
pupils.
Two pupils, not two successes. Two pupils. Didn't roll.
That would be 4 successes.
Yeah, I was
Four
like, what am I rolling? Like, all right. So I like tug good on the sleeve just because we've been like having a rapport the past little bit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Look at her eyes.
I'm gonna look over at her eyes.
Her eyes good.
Do I
And you
notice the same
see
thing?
two pupils, and she looks from Kip. She looks to you, and you see the same thing.
Earlier I
What
thought her
the-
teeth were wrong, and now her eyes are wrong, and I thought her fingers were
You
wrong.
three
I think she's
notice
just wrong.
Millwall hasn't come back from the boat.
Hey, good.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Maybe you could work something out. I've been trying to do the math, and it doesn't quite add up to me. So, we had a few blokes out here and up there. We know what they ate. Down there in the bellows, we had our little aunt over here who was eating canned food. Question. What was Milady eating up there? You said she was locked up away?
Yeah.
What'd she
No, no.
eat?
Come to
Was
think of it,
there
I don't
food?
even know. I didn't see.
I didn't see any
we didn't
food
see any
up
food.
there.
Maybe we can.
You know,
Did you ask her?
Captain's just smiling at you.
Kip
I was.
Kip starts like pulling up the blunderbuss a little,
Mhm.
like in a slightly ready motion of like you know,
Yeah.
like a terrified teenager would.
The tent
I guess-
that Biltmore went into starts kind of rustling a little bit.
I guess
Hey.
I didn't really ask. I was more worried that she was alive.
I don't think we should ask. Hey, Kip. I might
Yeah.
go. Squeeze. Don't pull. And I'm gonna shoot the captain.
Excellent. We will resolve that right after this scene.
All right.
Perfect.
And I've spun toward the wrestling, so I think we're like
You
back
spun.
to back right now.
Okay, perfect. Back to back. Perfect. Excellent. Tenpenny, you're walking down the halls towards the engines, and you can hear like a gear whirring, like it's stuck. And Phelps is like, "By God, what the hell happened here? And like you're looking, you're seeing like doors to like the brig the bars have been fused with skin wrapped around them, and they're starting to look more like bone than metal. And he's like, this is sickening. This is the devil's work. There's nothing holy here.
I was about to say, I don't think this is God's work, sir.
And you make your way to the door towards the steam engine. And it's closed. And you hear the gear grinding from behind the door. And Phelps, the door does look normal. So the doors mostly look normal around here. They look like wood and everything like that. Very functional. But the walls and some of the metal bars and everything have started to fleshcraft, for lack of a better word.
I will reach out and open the door. Actually, I'm going to look at Phelps and just kind of level my harpoon towards the door and just kind of look at him like...
Phelps pulls his muzzle-loaded pistol, and he goes, aye. And he kicks the door open. He doesn't, like, kick it open, but he kind of, like, uses his foot to kick it open so he can keep his pistol. And the door slowly opens, and you see before you the steam engine in the room. And you can see there's, like... It's not on, but you can see that, like, some of the skin and the bone have grafted onto it, and it's kind of stopped gears and pistons from moving. And you can see that it's kind of struggling, so it's not on, but it seems like it seems like the engine's on, but it's not on. You've been on the Ponderosa long enough to know that it's not on. And it's like moving and breathing almost. Like the skin is moving and breathing the engine. And you look above it and you see a face in the wall. A big face, contorted, but it looks spiraled almost. Like it's a mask that has been, like, Uzumaki'd a little bit, where the eyes are kind of different places, the nose is twisted, and the mouth is a little bit open. And it's big. It's big. And you see there's a body over in the corner. And you see the doctor's body. And Phelps goes, oh my god. And like as he's like looking at the face, I do need to ask you to add a stress dice.
Yeah.
The massive face and seeing this whole maelstrom of flesh. Do you wish to do anything when you see the doctor's body? And you see he's kind of moving a little bit. He's on the ground, his back is facing towards you.
No. And
You
if
don't?
Phelps goes to walk in the room, I stop him.
Phelps has like put his saber is like down, and he's like pulling out like a handkerchief to kind of keep himself from vomiting and trying to cover up his mouth.
Sir, we need to leave. We need to leave
We
now.
need to leave now. This is wrong.
Go.
Don't we? And he looks up and you see what you didn't notice. Something fall from the wall that was in front of the doctor. And then something snakes out of the doctor's sleeve and it falls. And you see it run up, and you see this like mound that fell off the wall. And it starts to sculpt itself. And you see like a arm and a hand pop out of the arm. And then like more is coming from the doctor's clothes, and it walks towards you, and it staggers towards you. And it doesn't have a face. It's just a head, and it doesn't have a face. And then it starts defining the jawbone. And Phelps has stood up, and he kind of steps back. And you see there is a crotch region formed, and knees and elbows, and then a defined like torso. And the head turns towards you, and as it turns, the light from like one of the lanterns above kind of catches it, and you see a nose forming, and it looks like your nose.
Yeah.
And it starts to look like your ears. What are you doing?
How is Phelps reacting again exactly?
Phelps stood up and stepped back.
I spear the harpoon through him.
Perfect.
And stab it into a wall to pin him.
All right, so you're going to make a close combat and strength roll. We're going to hop back over to the crew outside. We're doing this like editing, chopping it back and forth. Reeves, you have told Kip on your mark. Like,
Yes.
squeeze, don't pull.
Yeah.
Reeves, you are aimed at the captain. Kip, you are aimed at the tent that is rustling. Navigator Good, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be aiming at the sailor that we pulled off the ship.
Knowles is just sitting there and he's just humming to himself. I hate to sail this rotten tub. Leave her, Johnny, leave. And he's kind of shaking a little bit. And then you all hear from the tent that is rustling a.
No, Kip loses their shit.
Do it.
Yeah, no, squeeze them.
You're squeezing? Go ahead and
Yeah,
make
but
me a ranged combat and agility roll, Kip.
They got a bad pool for me. Oh, they have stress dice.
I'm also squeezing.
You're squeezing. Go ahead and make a ranged combat and agility roll.
And I'm gonna be like, stop singing, and I'm gonna pull my trigger as well.
Go ahead and make a ranged combat and agility roll, please. All
I
three
had
of
one
you.
success, but it was on my stress die. Does that mean
That still counts.
Okay.
Yeah. You just
Good
don't
job,
want to one of the
stress
stress
die.
die. Good job, stress die.
Good job, stress die.
Right.
Look at you.
Yep. I got one off my stress die.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I need to.
me and you both, apparently.
I need to.
God.
Can I add stress and then re-roll the ones that failed?
You are allowed to push, and you can re-roll the ones that failed, yes.
Okay.
So one success, and then we're doing a re-roll. What'd you get?
Well, I failed, and I got 2 1s on my stress die.
So you add 2 stress. I'm going to roll
Oh no.
on. So what's your stress level at now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the added stress.
Reeves.
Yeah. Oi! I mean.
You start screaming. As you all hear the coming from the tent, Reeves starts going like screaming and pulls the
Yeah.
trigger on his musket to shoot the captain. Reeves, you see the hammer go down on the flintlock pistol, and there is an explosion. There is a fire as the pistol explodes in your hand. What is the damage for your pistol?
Good question. Because I had a blunderbuss before.
Oh, you had a blunderbuss before. Let me go ahead and pull
Yeah,
up
but
my
now I have
pistol.
the blunderbuss.
And I gave it to Kip.
So you take 1 damage from that as well, as your hand gets blood splinters in it, and you get a little bit of metal in your arm. And yeah,
Powder burns. Buddy.
powder burns and everything.
Jesus Christ, Reeves.
And the captain looks at you. And you two that fire, okay, so you got a success, Kip. And then you got a success as well. Knowles, you got one damage. Knowles, his body hits the ground as the gunfire takes him in the shoulder, and he hits the ground.
Same shoulder.
Yeah,
Like
did
yeah,
you shoot him
in
his
the
heart
same
shoulder?
wounded shoulder, and,
Thank
and he
God.
hits the ground and crumples over. And the blunderbuss for you, Kip, it there's recoil, but your aim is true, and you do shoot the tent. 2 damage to the tent. As
in the tent or just
into
tent
the
itself?
tent to the tent
Okay.
as the tent kind of maneuvers around, and you see red kind of splatter against the canvas, and as the blunderbuss blows kind of a hole in the canvas, you see this formation, almost a column almost, as an arm rips through one side of the canvas, and you see there are 2 hands grafted together, and you see bones starting to protrude from the fingers, and then it rips along the canvas, and you see that Lombardi and Dr. Biltmore have kind of formed together almost, and their clothes are kind of twisted into this weird amalgamation of person, and their heads are together, their faces, and they're making this screech, and you see where you've shot them, you've peppered them with shot in their front, and there's a hole blown in their side.
What the hell is that?
And
What in the world?
the
No, what the hell is that?
and the captain
hell?
looks at you, Reeves, and goes, "You shouldn't have come here. You shouldn't have come here at all." And her face starts changing, and it starts looking like your face, Reeves. So, we're going to take initiative here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Tenpenny, what did you get on your roll down in the hold? 3. So, you've done damage with your harpoon.
I
You
would like to pin him and do an extra damage.
pin and extra damage. Noted.
And then I am running.
And you're running. I'm just going to toss this to the side. Excellent. We're going to do this real quick. Instead of pulling your own initiative or anything like that, typically on streams, I have y'all roll to see who goes first. I'm just going to draw cards for you all.
Oh, cool.
So with the starter kit, you get initiative cards. And there's 10 cards. So I am shuffling. Who wants to go first for a pool? We'll go Kip, Tenpenny.
Go.
Kip, Tenpenny. Then we'll go in the round with, Kip, Tenpenny, and then Reeves and Good for pulling. So this is the first one. Kip, initiative 5. So it goes from higher to lower. Tenpenny, 3. Reeves, 7. Good, 9. Enemies go last.
Hey.
So it goes Good, Reeves, Tenpenny, Kip, enemy.
Nope. Kip Tenpenny.
Kip, then Tenpenny.
5-3.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kip, Tenpenny, and then enemies.
I'm last.
Perfect.
4 enemies.
Excellent. So, Navigator Good, what are we doing? I'm writing
So
this
I
down as
assume,
well.
I assume that the shot only had one shot, right?
It only had one shot, yes. So you would have to
So-
take an action to reload.
Yeah, and I don't think I have any extra ammo on me, so I'm gonna go over to Reeves, Reeves, you got an extra shot. I'll reuse mine.
And Reeves is holding his hand and he's screaming.
gonna
Jesus Christ!
mangle-
And I'm gonna pull out my knife.
Perfect. Pull out your knife, and then as you turn and look, you see the captain is starting to turn into Reeves, but in the captain's uniform.
I'm just gonna ready myself. Fuck. What do we do? What do we do?
Reeves is just yelling.
Perfect. So,
Uh,
you can use your, so you've got an action, a fast action, and then your move and a free action. So your fast action can do things like reloading or like opening doors or utilizing like tools that can be used quickly. And then your action is like firing and like attacking or like hacking or something like that, or like trying to do like longer tasks. And then your free action is things like talking and then like moving how much you can move.
So what I assume that Reeves has like extra ammo in his pockets, maybe or something like that.
a bag of there's a bag of ammo hanging from his belt.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna reach in and try to use would that be the action to try to take it out and
Yes.
reload that way, or fast action to reload that way?
Fast action to reload it. Since it's on its belt, I'm going to say you can just utilize him right there. Since he's standing still and he's focusing on his hand,
Yeah.
I'll say that's a fast action to reload.
Then I'm gonna start trying to
To reload
Reload
and everything
to
like
reload
that.
as quick as.
Reload as quick
And
as you
then-
can, loading and everything like that. You're an experienced sailor, so you go ahead and do that. So you do have a shot to
Yeah,
go for.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my shot at the captain since she's closer to me.
Perfect. Go ahead and do a range combat agility, please, sir.
I actually got it. Just one.
One.
Yep, just one.
The shot goes off and you shoot the captain like in the side of the neck, and you do see like flesh and blood hit across the ice, and she goes "Ow!" like that as you hit her. You have your movement to move. You've already used your fast action, your main action. Where are you moving?
I'm just gonna move right inside the top to try to get some
distance
between.
to give you some time. Okay, yeah. So you start moving probably towards like Millwall or towards like the ice outcropping, away from everybody else because it's kind of running the tents. All right, next we've got Reeves.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did grab that lamp,
You did grab the lamp.
and I do have a rope hanging from my shoulder,
You do.
and I was holding the gun in the other hand.
Yeah, and I've assumed that you have dropped it because it has exploded in your hands. Or do
Yeah,
you
this
still have?
hand's-
Yeah,
This hand's pretty much used. Yeah, I would have dropped
it's
it.
fucked
I mean,
up. Yeah.
yeah, my hand's real fucked up, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to take the rope, slide it down my arm,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of let it dangle around the lantern,
Okay.
and then I want to kind of swing the lantern at the captain and just kind of throw myself toward her so that I can shatter the lantern in hopes that I can light the rope on fire at her, on her.
Got it. Okay, so you want to take. So you have the rope as kindling almost.
Right.
And you're trying to use the lamp as a weapon, and so that like you can get the rope and the lamp on her. Like you're using both in one hand.
Yep.
Cool. All right. We'll say this utilizes your fast action and your actual proper action. Won't you
Yep.
go ahead and give me a? Oh boy. Let's go ahead and give me a close combat and agility roll, please, Mr. Reeves.
Close combat and agility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's close combat.
With your stress dice as well.
Yep, and there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Come on, dice.
Okay. I have 3 successes
Sick.
with a 1 on one of my stress dice.
Okay. So, let's resolve the 3 successes first. You do damage. This does happen, and you have 2 options. You can add more damage, or you have more options. You can add more damage. You can outmaneuver and trade initiative scores with them, taking effect next turn. So you can effectively switch turns with them. So they take your old turn, and then you get another action in combat because you've taken their turn.
Yeah.
Or you can knock or pull a weapon or object from them. They are knocked to the ground, or you can get them in a grapple.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna knock him to the ground. I'm gonna knock
Perfect.
her to the ground. Getting the grapple is a little too dangerous.
Yeah,
here.
too dangerous as she's like
She's a,
morphing. So you do damage. You're going to knock her to the ground, and you got one more success to utilize.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
this
you got
is a
3
cool
successes.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to kick her. I mean,
Do
I
more
don't have-
damage. Okay.
Yeah, I want to do more damage.
Okay, excellent. Great. You do this. You smash the lantern against her with the rope on it, and it catches. And she gets knocked to the ground. And it looks like it's very effective. As and she has the captain's log, and she starts screaming as the fire spreads quickly. And you go to kick her and do more damage. And you feel a squelch and like a crunch as your boot hits the side of her head. And there's a crack. And she is just like writhing around on the ground. And she's like, you can tell that she's dying. And then like you turn to help Kip. And she grabs your leg. And she bites into you, like it feels like her hand bites you. It doesn't feel like and you see like there's like a mouth on her hand, and it bites into your hand and takes a chunk out. As you get you get damage, and you also take 1 fire damage, and that's how we're going to resolve your stress dice 1.
Okay. So I take 2 damage.
2 damage. How much health do you have, Reeves?
4.
Cool. So
Right? Like you start with.
Yeah,
Start filling
you start.
up with boxes after. Yeah.
Yeah, to meet to it. Yes.
Yep.
To
okay.
meet to it. 4 damage. Okay, cool. As you're just getting fucked up right now. Like, very quickly, this is happening. All right. After Reeves. Does that resolve everything?
Everything.
Everything. Perfect. Who's next? We got Kip next. Kip, you've got this blunderbuss.
Yeah, and I am running back into the ship to get fucking Tenpenny because he is the most badass person I've seen in the past hour or two. Like, he stabbed one of these fuckers. So, like, Kip is, like, as soon as he sees the, like, people in the tent, he's just like, nope! And, like holds the blunderbuss because he knows it only has, like, one shot, really.
One shot in it,
and just, like, runs toward the ship.
Oh, poor sweet Kip. We'll say that you do make it to the gangplank just for dramatic purposes.
Okay.
You run up the gangplank.
I'm, like, screaming for Tenpenny.
You just hear, Tenpenny! Mr. Tenpenny!
Yeoman Tenpenny! Tenpenny, sir! Sir, please help us, sir! Sir! They've all mutated, sir!
When you run into the galley and you're making your way to the hatch, you see the 4 frozen bodies. Something erupts from their heads split open, and the ice shatters around it as columns of flesh and bone come out and look almost like millipedes or centipedes kind of hanging out of this, like, kind of carcass, the shell, and, like, and you can just hear in your ears, like, they're not screaming. You just see, we swear by rot for want of more. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. From mouths all along the millipedes.
Sir! Help me, sir.
We will say you make your way to the hatch and start making your way down, but I'm
just scrambling. I'm, like, falling over and, like, crawling and, like, just, yeah.
Go ahead and make me a stress roll real quick. D6 plus your stress level.
5.
5? Add another stress level.
Yeah, I figured.
But you do scramble down. Is there anything you're grabbing on the way down or anything like that? Because you do have a fast action left. Because we're going to say, like, if you're trying to get your way to Tenpenny, or a main action, we can switch it out for more movement.
I think I'm just trying to get there.
Okay.
To get the there's one person who so far has shown themselves to be the most, like, badass,
and that is
Tenpenny, who also last I knew was with Phelps, who I also respect very much. So I'm trying to get, like, the 2 strongest men to come help fight these things.
We'll say you use your turn to you burn it to get there to them, and you turn and you look, and this hold is kind of like breathing a little bit. And you can see, like, the hammocks kind of moving in this hold, and cans are being knocked over. And you turn and you look down the hallway, and you see Mr. Tenpenny, who has a harpoon, and Mr. Phelps, who is, like, pinned against the wall. And Mr. Phelps's mouth has extended almost like the painting The Scream. His jaw has dropped, like the I Am Legend vampire zombies, like, dropped.
Beautiful.
And a little bit far distance, you see a naked man, but it's kind of shadowed, walking towards Tenpenny.
I, like, force my way forward just a little bit, just enough to, like, kind of, like, tug Tenpenny's sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, we have to leave them. We have to burn this place. There's more of them outside. We're all going to be slaughtered.
And that brings us to Tenpenny, who is standing there, and you feel that tug, and you hear that, and Phelps is, like, has his mouth agape, and he just goes like that as the draw drops a little bit. Tenpenny, is your turn.
So, I rolled 3 successes to harpoon him.
Perfect.
I would like to change one of the actions I made from that, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
I just remembered one of the things I can do with extra successes, which is I stabbed him with the harpoon, pinned him to the wall, and I can also make him drop something and grab it, and he was holding a saber.
He was holding a saber, yes.
So I'm going to make him drop the saber and grab it.
Perfect. You have him pinned against the wall, harpoon, going back from your previous action, so you now have the saber in your hand, and it is now your turn.
And now Kip is tugging on my sleeve, crying, and making a horrible noise.
And you see Phelps is in front of you, and he's, like, looking in between you and Kip. And you see this, like, other you, this naked you, staggering towards you. Almost like it's Annihilation a little bit.
I'm going to pick up Kip and start running back.
We have to burn it, sir.
You're going to pick up, so we're going to say fast action. You pick up Kip.
Yep.
And you start running back.
Underneath my arm.
Running
and I start
back.
running back down the hallway away from both of them.
A little bit of a note. You see your mirror self mimic the same action. Bend down and, like, try to pick up something that's not there, stands up and starts walking after you. But it's like a baby gazelle that's, like, trying to get its footing. And it's
like
kind of
in Annihilation.
Yeah. and like the Phelps is looking at it and like shouting and like reaching out for it, and you can see a little bit of the Phelps grafts on to the other you that's walking after you. Is there anything else you're doing, sir? You've got your action. Your movement will get you to the hold and up out of the hold. You can use your full action to get more movement.
I'm going to take the lantern I have.
Okay.
I'm going to smash it on the ground so the oil catches.
Perfect. So you climb up the hold.
Gunpowder too. There was gunpowder on the floor too. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
In the hold.
In the hold, and you get to the ladder of the hold, and you smash your lantern down, and there's skin, and there's powder, and there's like wood and like rope, and it just catches immediately. And you climb out of the hold, and you see the 4 mouth columns all singing, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her."
I'm going to try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Benny, we have to leave this sorting boat.
And I'm going to start making my way towards the gangplank. Still carrying Kip.
Perfect. Let us get to the enemy's turn. Then we'll... Oh, no, we don't have enemy's turn. We have Reeves' turn because Did you swap initiative with Reeves? No, you did not do that. You did something else. Never mind. Okay, I just got excited because I love that stunt. Okay, so we get to the enemy's turn. The captain is shriveling up, like doing a thing like when you see a spider that gets too much heat. It starts like kind of like... You see her like bones and arms start kind of moving in on themselves. And like... after she had bitten you, and she's like a mass of like different phalanges and things like that. The thing in the tent thrashes around and rips the tent in half, and you can see it's 2 people pinned together, and you can see there's bone spikes on one arm, and you can see there's a giant mouth on another arm, and you can see their faces are fused together, so they have 3 eyes. And like one is like 2 pupils, and they stop, like, you can see them trying to mimic, but only screams are coming out. So we've got Reeves on the ground, and we've got Mr. Good, who has moved back towards the outcropping. Reeves.
Yes.
You're not down and out yet. You're standing there, you got a chunk bitten out of your leg, your hand is... mangled. You still got your knife on you as you see this thing walking towards you. I'm going to go ahead and make a roll here real quick to see if it succeeds. I certainly hope it does. Okay, cool. Excellent. Where are you, bookmark? I cannot find you. Excellent. I'm going to make a roll. So there's 1 success against you. What armor do you have? Cloth armor, so 0 rating. Perfect. All right. Let me roll a d6. Okay. Oh, darn. Okay, cool. All right. The column thing moves towards you, and it gets close as you're like trying to back away. One of the heads moves close to you, and it rubs its face against your face as you're kind of screaming and trying to get back. I need you to make me an agility mobility roll, please.
Okay.
As you feel your skin starting to be pulled into its skin.
Agility, mobility.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 4, and then... one. It's like all stress dice. 1 6, and one of the stress die was a 1. Can I do another stress dice? Like add stress to roll the ones that failed?
So you cannot re-roll a 1 on a stress dice, like a panic state. So you keep that. But
Okay.
I will say, you're
Okay.
going to take more damage as you grab your knife
Yeah.
and you feel your skin being pulled onto this other face, and you do a quick cut. You're a sailor. A quick cut as you cut your face from this face, and you take damage as you remove yourself from being absorbed by this flesh mound creature, but there is now a massive gash in your face, in your cheek,
Aye.
and you're bleeding. Let's go to, I'm going to do some things down in the hold. Behind you, oh god, no, you just hear fucking screaming in the hold. I've got to do some other rolls.
The hold's on fire.
Yeah. How about yours? That's the way we like it, and we never get bored.
I'll allow it.
Perfect.
I'm so mad right now.
Perfect. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right. You just hear screams coming from the hold. All right. I need a agility mobility roll from both of you. Kip, you get an assistance because you're in Tenpenny's arms right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Agility, mobility.
Yep.
Okay.
One success.
Yeah, I rolled 2 1s, and they were both on the 2 dice that were not stress dice.
Whew. Okay, cool. And Kip, how about you?
I am sorry, I don't know how to roll an assist. I just roll 1 die.
No. So you're rolling agility mobility as well, but you get an extra die to roll towards because you're being held
Okay.
by Tenpenny.
Sorry, it's been like a hot minute since I played this game.
No,
so.
you're good. You're good.
This is like a lot of dice. Like actually more than 10.
Benefits to being a kid. Dodge shit really easily.
I have to roll extra dice. Hang on 1 second.
Got it.
So I rolled 2 successes, but I got a 1 on my stress die.
Perfect.
Is it though?
You witness one of the mouth columns lash out almost like a snake, and Tenpenny dodges it, and dodges another, but one nips him at his heel. Tenpenny, you take damage. 1 damage. Kip, you dodge both of them, but in an effort to dodge them, you freak out and you wriggle out of Tenpenny, and Tenpenny drops you on the ground. So you fall down on the ground, and you're also, I'm pretty sure Kip's like, I can move myself, so I can move myself. And so you wriggle and you fall down on the ground. So you're going to be starting your
Correct.
turn dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the ground. But you do not get bit by any of these mouth columns. I never thought I would say the word mouth columns, but here we are.
Mouth column.
You've said it more than once tonight.
I know. Here we are.
I'm all right, sir. I can walk, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to be a burden, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I'm going to make one more roll. Oh, interesting. All right. Back to the top of the key. Mr. Good.
All right. So, am I by the tarp that they had placed? Would I be able to rip it down?
So are you saying you want to go up the gangplank? Because you're by the gangplank and some columns of ice.
Okay.
You can go and help Reeves right now at this point. You can go up the gangplank, or you can go around the ship towards where Millwall is by the boat.
So, would I be able to go and grab the top? Because I imagine I would have seen the creature like do the
Yeah.
whole thing to Reeves, right? So, could I grab in this turn? Would I be able to grab the top and then run over and try to cover both of us and try to get Reeves out of there? Would I be able to do that?
Yes,
Can I just,
yes,
can I just
exactly.
burn my whole turn.
Burn
to
your
do
whole
that?
turn to go ahead, grab the tarp that had been ripped down, the canvas tarp, the tarpaulin that was the tent, wrap you and Reeves in it, like grab Reeves, wrap you and Reeves in it, and just start running towards the longboat.
Yep. Reeves, you're not out of this yet.
Perfect.
Which boat are you running towards?
The I imagine I would just run back to where everybody else is. Where Kip went back into the McCready.
Back
Yeah,
to the
not the-
McCready,
Not the Ponderosa, the McCready.
Yeah, I don't want to lead this creature to
to the
bottom.
pond,
yeah.
to the pond. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and just for sake of posterity, go ahead and give me an agility and give me an agility and mobility check.
Can I go ahead and re-roll my? Because I got 2 6s. Can I re-roll
The
to try
rest
to
of
get
them,
more?
you can push more. Yeah, go ahead and add a stress level. And remember, with your talent, you can push twice.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Yep. So do I re-roll the stress die as well?
Yes, please.
So I got 4 altogether. 4 6s altogether.
4 6s. Excellent.
With 1 stress die.
With 1 stress die. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna. Okay. Whew. So you succeed. For every extra you roll, choose 1 stunt that's applicable. You can give a success to another PC in the same situation as you. You can give a +1 modification to a later skill roll, or you impress someone. And you got 3 extra to burn.
So can I go ahead and give Reeves just in
case.
for the sake of case I want to give him
a success.
That way he doesn't, because he's taking a lot of damage at this point.
Yep.
Just so he can keep going.
Yep.
I want to give him that 6. And what else can I do?
You can get a +1 to a later skill roll related to this one, or you can impress someone.
Okay, so that would be 3 potential +1s I could give myself later.
Yeah, you can give
Right.
you two extra because you already
2.
gave 1 to Reeves, and you got a success
Okay.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hold those and.
Perfect. You make it, and you're running towards the ship, but once you get there, you trip on the gangplank, and it doesn't stop you or hinder you, but you do feel a crunch in your ankle as you have rolled your ankle.
Oh, wait, fuck.
So you do have a -1 to your dice pool for agility rolls, but you have 2 extra to compensate for that. Perfect.
That'll be
You
my
start.
turn.
You two are running up the gangplank. Reeves, it is your turn. You don't have to roll because you've automatically succeeded because of Mr. Good here.
I think, shit. I'm gonna run back to the. I want to run down. I want to run into the ship,
Okay.
and what I want to try to do is I want to try to make my way downstairs.
So I will say we'll get you at the top of the gangplank.
And I think it's on. I think it's on fire. I think it's on fire, right?
What you're seeing now is you get to the top of the gangplank. The
Yeah.
tarp has been pulled back, and you see these 4 columns of flesh mouths. You see Kip is on the ground, and you see Tenpenny has just gotten bit by one, but he has his saber up. You can see the hold, but you see there is like a flicker of light, like there's something on fire downstairs in the hold.
Okay.
So we'll
So
give
the-
that, and you see the same thing. Good.
Okay. So there's two flesh columns.
4.
I've got 4
From each
4
body. There's
I have a knife in my hand.
You
or
do.
My left hand because this
yeah,
one's
your left
screwed
hand, 'cause
up.
this one's mangled.
I'm going to immediately see the closest individual flesh column, mouth column,
Mouth column.
and I'm gonna throw myself at that mouth column, and I'm gonna stab as much as possible. I want to try to cut that column off.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a close combat and strength roll. Or agility. I will allow you to do strength or agility. Because you are using a knife. You're not using brute force.
All right.
Is he attacking the one that bit me?
I would assume so, yes? Or are you attacking
Okay.
a different one? The one that's closer to Kip?
I would attack the ones closer to me.
Perfect.
So
So that's
whomever
going to be
that
one
is.
that's closer to Kip. So yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, that's fine.
He's got a sword. What'd you get?
I got 4 successes.
You got 4 successes?
I got 4.
Did you get any ones?
Nope.
Hell yes, sir. So you do succeed, and you get 3 extra stunts for close combat. You can do the grappling, knock them to the ground, knock a weapon out of them. They don't have any objects in their mouths. You can do extra points of damage, or you can outmaneuver and trade initiative with them. So you get to go again.
Okay. I want to trade initiative.
Okay, so you want to trade initiative.
I want to trade initiative.
Okay.
I have 4
You- so-
actions that I could take.
So you did initial damage, so you did 1
Yep.
damage, and now you
Yep.
traded initiative, so you have 2 extra that you can spend on doing extra damage or.
Knock one to the ground. I want to knock it to the ground.
Okay.
Make it prone.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I guess can I just do another extra damage on that one?
Perfect. You see Gunsmith Reeves, and like a blustering, just like a yell and a holler, takes his diving knife in his left hand, his right hand is mangled, and just bullies into this flesh column that's about to snap at Kip, and just starts cutting at it and hacking at it and sawing at it, and it starts screaming, and it's trying to bite you, but you're maneuvering it with your useless your hand over here, and you're just like pushing it aside, and you cut through it. So you cut it, and it just collapses to the ground, and it starts withering, and they're screaming. They're not seeing anymore, and you can hear the other mouse screaming. You have effectively killed it.
Yes.
And you get to take its initiative turn, so you get to go again when the enemy, like, so you've swapped with the enemy.
When it's this enemy's turn, then it's my turn.
Yes. Perfect. Kip, what are you doing?
I am reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Okay.
And pulling my diving knife out of my.
Uh-huh.
It's
scabbard.
there we go.
Sheath.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Sheath. That's what I was looking for. And just going after the closest writhing one I can see. Just I'm panicking.
Roll me an agility and close combat roll, please.
Well, it gave me no close combat, but one knife.
I was hoping you use your yo-yo as a garrote.
I mean, it hasn't been up yet, but
Just do a little bit of Hitman.
no successes on one on my stress die. On one of my many stress dice, but
Yes.
yeah.
Your stress goes up again.
5 now.
You decide to flee. You just can't take it anymore, and you must flee to a safe place and refuse to leave it. You won't attack anyone or attempt to do anything dangerous. You are not allowed to make a retreat roll if you have an enemy at engaged range when you flee. Your stress levels decrease by 1, though. But every friendly character who sees you run must make an immediate panic roll. So, gentlemen, I need you to roll 1d6 for me, adding your stress level. As you see Kip try to grab at this mouth, and the mouth column turns to you, and Kip immediately drops his knife and just runs down the gangplank.
Can you clarify something?
Yeah.
Roll 1d6 and then add your stress level to the result.
Yes.
Yep. 7.
7.
Also, I think that you said on the game plank, I feel like Kip would run into the captain's office. And
Oh, so you're running up to the top deck? Is that
Yeah.
what you feel is a safe place?
That's
Even
what Kip
better.
feels is a safe place.
That's what Kip feels. So you don't
Yeah.
see Kip run down the gangplank, which is off the ship, that's on fire. You see Kip immediately run up the stairs towards the top deck, towards the captain's office. And so we got a 7. What did you get, Tenpenny, on your panic roll?
5.
5 and 4. Add your stress level, increase your stress levels there. Good and Tenpenny. All right, Kip, that is your move. I'll say you do make it to the captain's office. Do you close the door behind you?
Oh yeah, and I turn the key.
Slam
Seal
the
door.
you close
Yeah,
and you
no.
lock the door, and you go and get underneath the desk.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, safest place
I
possible.
do the like,
Yeah.
old school. Like,
Tenpenny, it is your turn.
So that head that was attacking me,
Yeah,
I am going to just hack it off.
perfect.
And I rolled 3 successes.
Perfect. So that is 1 damage, and you get 2 extra.
All extra damage.
All extra damage immediately, just like a slice, like a swashbuckler in a movie. You just see Tenpenny, just one try, just cut this mouth column down to ribbons, and it falls down on the ground and it wriggles and writhes. There's only 2 left now. As we get to the enemy's turn,
Can I take a free action?
you can take a free action. Yes, of course you
you.
can.
And I'm just going to look at Good and say, fire, gunpowder, and gesture towards the fucking hold door that's open.
Good. And I'll say Reeves, you hear that as well.
Excellent.
Gunpowder, fire, and points down to the hold. We get back, since Reeves has swapped initiatives
Yes.
with the enemy. Reeves,
Yeah.
it is your turn now.
How far away is the other two mouth columns?
One is across the table and one is right next to you.
Right next to me?
Yes.
Is the hole on my left side or right side? Are they in between?
They are not in between you and the hole. So you can just turn and dive out the fucking ship if you want to. Or you can attack it.
I want to try to grab a lantern.
Mm-hmm. You see
Because
one?
I want to grab it and run towards the hole so I can light this motherfucker up.
Isn't it already lit up?
Well, even more so though.
Okay.
Okay. You go ahead and take it. Go ahead and give me an agility and ranged combat roll. As you grab a lantern that you see that just sitting there, and it is just lit. It's dying down a little bit. You just toss it. Just chuck the motherfucker. What'd you get?
I'm gonna spend a hold.
You're gonna spend. You're gonna push it.
That's what it is. Push. Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to push.
Okay.
One success.
One success. Did you get any ones on your stress dice?
Nope.
Perfect. You take the lantern, you toss it to a bundle of rags and boxes that have been broken apart, that are all over the side. And are you running out of the hole in the side of the hull?
Yes.
Perfect. Turn and start running down the gangplank. You see the flesh monster is making its way towards you. So you're running down the gangplank, it's making its way towards the gangplank. You can dive off the side of it, either side of the gangplank.
I'm diving, baby.
Dive into it. It's not too high above. You don't take any damage, and you land in the soft, pillowy snow. We'll call that your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Good. It is now your turn.
Shit. I'm gonna see Reeves jump out.
Just jump out.
basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Tenpenny. Tenpenny, get out of here. I'm gonna go get the kid, and I'm gonna start making my way up, kind of dragging ass because my foot's all.
Your foot's all kind of like, mangled up.
Yeah.
And you limp up the steps, and you get to the captain's door. Get to the deck here, and you're looking
as
around.
soon as I get up, as soon as I get up, I'm gonna be like, kid, we need to go. This thing's about to go. We need to go now.
You can hear that kid. You see footprints making their way over towards the captain's door
Is
to the
it
office.
safe?
It's not safe. The ship is about to blow. We need to go now.
No, if I come out, they're not going to eat me, right, sir?
I won't let that happen.
I could freeze or starve to death, or I could die at sea, but I don't want to be eaten, sir.
Or you could end up back on the Ponderosa. It's your choice. Now open the door.
All right, sir, I'm coming.
Got it.
Like, fling open the door and start following.
Fling open the door. And, good. Are you going to just try to jump off the boat, or are you going to try to run back through the galley to the hole? In the hole.
Oh man, this is the $10 million question right here. I'm gonna look over this. Can I look over the side from where we're at? Like,
Yes. You look over the side, and you see the longboat has been flipped over to where it's right, where it's ready to get pulled through, or like put in the water. And you see there's a patch of now freezing blood that is just sitting there beside the longboat, and it has been dragged into the water. Like there's a trail that drags it into the water that's by the hole.
in the way that it's set up at the angle that it is, how far is if I were to jump, hypothetically?
I'd say it's about. You could go up to the helm, because the helm, it's kind of tilted where it rode up the iceberg. That would make it about a 10-foot drop. So you could effectively try to land into some snow or something, or try to maybe even slide down the ice that's on the back.
You can
Okay.
slide down the ice so I can go first,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
How about I go first and I can catch you as you come down, just to make sure you're safe.
Are you sure, sir? You're
100%.
hurt.
I'll be fine. I'll be
All
fine.
right, sir. All right.
And I'm gonna
Go ahead, sir.
get up and
Give
try to
me
slide down the
a
ice.
agility mobility check, and you do have 2 extra dice, and you do have -1 dice. So you can choose to use your 2 extra dice if you want to, but you do suffer at a
use-
-1 penalty.
Yep, I'm gonna take that +1
Okay.
to make up for that.
Perfect. Just make it an even wash.
Yep. 1, Yeah, just got a 1 on that one.
1. You see Kip as Good just like looks, and there is some ice that slides down into a patch down below, and you can see off to your left Reeves has hopped off into a snow patch, and you just go and you step off and you put your butt towards the ice and you just slide down, and you feel like you're going too fast, and then you land in the snow.
Wait,
And then
good does?
Good does, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and he lands, and you see Reeves to your right, to your left, and then you look up, and Kip is ready to roll.
All right, Kip, come on, kid.
So with that, Reeves has swapped his initiative order, so the enemy goes next. Tenpenny. Darn. You take 2 damage as one of the mouth columns grabs onto you, and you take the initial damage, and it rips out a chunk of your left arm. You hold it up to block. So you take 2 damage. It got 2 successes against you. If you have armor, then you can negate that damage.
Resilient?
You can use your resilient. Go ahead. Your resilient talent.
Strength, right?
Yep. Straight up strength roll.
Yeah. No.
No? Yeah.
None.
You try to muscle it up, but you take 2 damage.
No. Sorry, I don't take any.
Oh, you don't take any damage? Okay, perfect. Yeah. You just you quickly just like go, oh fuck, and you like kick, you just like knock it back out of your way. Perfect. All right. Reeves,
Yes.
Fleshman is making his way towards you.
Well, I've got a knife. I'm gonna try to leap myself right. Hopefully not get hit by this thing, because it's his turn and not mine. So I'm just gonna stop talking right now and let him try to see what he's gonna do. Come on, mate.
This man, this column wraps its mouth arm on you
Ah,
and grabs its bony arm and stabs into your back, and it brings you close to it.
me back.
You take 1 damage, and I need you to try and make an agility mobility roll out of this. As you feel it start pulling at your skin, and it's trying to assimilate you like it's the movie Society.
One, two, three, four. No successes.
You start feeling yourself getting pulled in, and your skin being pulled into it. And you can hear in your head as the skin is connecting to it, you hear, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her." As you see the bones start melding into your skin, and the mouth starts gathering your skin into it, and you are being pulled into this fleshy mass, and you start singing along with it.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
You all hear that. Kip, it is now your turn.
Right, awesome. Yeah, so Kip will slide down the ice, following Good.
Give me an agility and mobility roll, please.
That's my best roll.
I'm gonna be down there waiting for him to try to catch him.
You got spoons on them. Ready to go. That's what I used to call it when I worked a climbing tower. It's like, I got spoons on you.
I love that.
I got 1 success.
Heck yeah. Kip, immediately, hearing the singing, goes, oh no. And then slides down the ice. Good catches you. Kip, are you leading Good someplace? I'm going to say...
Yeah, no, we're leaving.
Okay.
We're like, as far as Kip's concerned, like grabbing Good's arm and
Yeah.
like all 115 pounds of Kip is trying to like drag Good back to, like, we have to go, so we have to take an application.
Are you leaving the longboat and just running towards the Ponderosa? It's about a half a mile away.
Well, yeah, because dragging the longboat took more time.
Took more time, exactly.
Like,
Perfect.
no, we are fucking off as far as I'm concerned.
Good.
So you can
I'm
do whatever
assuming you
want,
are not
but we're
fighting
leaving.
back, and you're just...
But what about Tenpenny? Tenpenny's at least still alive. Hopefully.
He can handle himself, sir. This is Satan at work, sir. I can't truck with this
As you
anymore,
look
sir.
back and you see Reeves is being brought in, and his hands are matching with his hands, and his mouth is up, and he's screaming the lyrics to Johnny Leave Her with this mound.
I don't mind being buried at sea, sir, but I don't want to become that, sir.
Shit, I have to agree with you. God damn it. Tenpenny better make it then.
Tenpenny,
Then I'm gonna...
it is your turn, sir. You have the saber. You've just been bitten. Everyone is assumingly getting off the boat. What are you doing?
If I jump off the boat the same way Reeves went, I will have to go very near that.
You will have to, yes.
I am going to run upstairs to the top deck.
You make your way to the top deck. It's clear. You do see there are footprints, leading to the captain's office and then leading up to the helm.
Yeah, that
And
way.
You go up to the helm.
Oh, I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off.
Perfect.
I'm not going anywhere near where Reeves was.
Perfect. Nowhere near Reeves, and you go ahead and give me a mobility and agility check here, please, sir. It's just like, whoop. Just like,
Ooh, that's 1 success and 1 stress die.
you make your way over, and before you can realize that there is an ice slide, you just throw yourself off of the ship,
Yeah.
and you feel a crunch on your leg as you kind of land wrong. You suffer -1 die to your agility rolls as you get up, and you can see the bone kind of sticking out of your leg. And you see Good and Kip are starting to and you look over and you see Reeves getting enveloped into this thing.
Nope.
And I'm assuming you're running with them.
Yep. After I reset that bone real quick.
Before we get out of initiative order, I want to give Gunsmith Reeves one more action before you are assimilated to this thing.
I have but one thing in me hand, and that's me knife.
Yeah, and somebody else's hand and their foot or whatever. But yes, your knife.
Yeah, and so yeah, I also have a face inside of my hand.
Yeah.
I'd like to, in a desperate attempt to hopefully leave this place with a little bit of my soul, stab myself in the eye or try to slit me own neck, something that will put me out of me own misery.
I need you to make me an empathy and command roll, please,
Okay.
with your stress dice as well.
Empathy and what roll?
Command.
Okay.
Do you not have
very
command? Just roll empathy and your stress dice, good sir.
I don't have that either.
You should have empathy. You have a 2 empathy.
I have a 2 empathy?
Yes,
Okay.
you do have a 2 empathy.
Okay, it was blank. Is that good?
Okay.
Okay. Whew. All right.
What did you get?
Failed, and I got a 1.
You think there's one thing that you can do to keep yourself from being manipulated by whatever devil's work is at this. For Queen and country, for her Majesty's Royal Navy, Gunsmith Reeves, who has served on the good ship Ponderosa longer than anyone else. You were there when it was built. You were ready to die for your country. And you go to die as a sailor of the Royal Navy, and your neck stops, your hand stops right before it reaches your neck. And you think, no. You think to yourself, no. I have a greater purpose than this. I must make it on board the Ponderosa. It belongs to me. I've been there longer than anyone else, and it is my right. I have lived, I have blood, sweat, tears on that boat. And you need to make it to the Ponderosa, no matter what. And you go black. We are out of initiative order. What are you all doing as you're running across the ice?
So did we hear Tenpenny fall?
You heard Tenpenny fall, and he got back up, and you see him, and he's like limping after you. Tenpenny, are you going to try to set your leg? Or are you just going to try to run after them?
Yeah, I'm setting my leg.
I
Go-
think as long as we feel like we may be able to help him, we'll like pause for a minute.
Pause for a minute.
To like catch up so we can like help him along because he's still clearly human.
Go ahead and roll me an empathy and medical aid roll, please, Mr. Tenpenny.
Yep.
And while that's happening, I'm gonna yell back, "Hey, Tenpenny, you all right?"
One success.
No, hold on.
Oh.
Who? One success.
One success.
No ones.
You
have to
hear
hurry, Yeoman.
a
You have to hurry.
snap and then a yell.
Just like a very loud, prolonged grunt.
Yeah.
He just get down on his.
And then you see Tenpenny start making his way over.
Yup. And then I start running, limp running.
With the saber.
Come on, sir. Come on. You have to hurry.
Yes.
You all run across the ice. You make your way as fast as you can. And you finally make it to the Ponderosa. It has been carved free from the ice. The swing, the gangplank is down. The swing has been raised where the diver went down and cut away. And you see somebody over the edge goes, "Look, they're here! They're here! Something's happened, sir! Something's happened!" And then a ka-toom in the background as the McCready explodes. And you hear a wailing scream across the ice. Captain Childs goes, "Well, get them up, please." As they send down a rope, they help you climb up the gangplank, and you're all covered in viscera and sweat. And Childs goes, "What happened? What happened?" And like kneels down and like looks at you, Kip, and like helps a handkerchief to wipe off your face a little bit.
It was horrible, sir.
Captain, we need to get moving.
We have to go. We have to go now.
What happened to Phelps? What happened to everyone?
They're dead. Something
It's
unholy
too much
is on
time
that
to
ship.
explain. We have to get away from here.
I'm going to just blankly walk past to wherever I can start steering the ship away.
Start going
Just-
to the helm and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm just, we're getting out of here.
Do we need to leave, Kip? Childs.
Yes, we have to go. We have to go before they come for us.
You heard the lad. Get the rigging. Let's move us out. Start the steam engine. Let's go. As you all start making your ways, he's like, "Calm down, please. Get them blankets. Get them food, something, wine, ale." As you see people start moving together, and it's like, get them to my cabin, please. Get them off the deck. They're cold. They're freezing." As you feel the ship moving, is there anything that you want to do before we end tonight?
I have a question.
Yes.
I was bit.
Yes.
Are you using the same rules as John Carpenter's The Thing?
I am indeed using the same rules as John Carpenter's
There's
The
a
Thing.
sequel, is what you're telling us.
So as we're pulling away, then you would all quietly hear Tenpenny to himself, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her."
Over a bit of hot coffee, as you're all kind of sitting in the captain's cabin. And you hear, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her." And the camera pulls through the glass of the Ponderosa as it's sailing back through the ice. And we just see, walking across an ice shelf, a Mr. Gunsmith Reeves. Harried, clothes worse for wear, but moving, just walking like a normal human man. And he turns and he looks towards the horizon. And Mr. Reeves, you see people in furs with spears and dogs with them. What are you doing?
Waving.
And they wave back to you.
And I walk towards them, humming to myself.
And with the chorus from the ship, the Ponderosa, and from the humming of Mr. Reeves, the credits roll on Terror on the HMS Ponderosa. I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening. We went a little bit long, but not too bad. Not too bad, right? I hope not. I would love, before we get out of here, I would love for all of our cast here to tell us where you can find them, anything that you're going to be working on this weekend and in the future, And then I would love to have our two wonderful hosts for this event tell us a little bit of what we have to expect here. So let's go ahead and start with our good navigator, Mr. Good, Chad.
Well, like I said at the beginning, my name is, and you just said, my name is Chad. I am with Near Dark Studios. The ad on Twitter, Near Dark Studios, Instagram, all that good stuff, YouTube. My personal Twitter at IKEA_Viking, in joke for the group. But yeah, I mostly talk about hip hop. That's kind of my thing. But you know, this is also a passion of mine. I like doing this. I like hanging out with cool people who enjoy this same stuff that I do. So again, thank everybody for allowing me to be a part of this. You know, I had a lot of fun. So I appreciate it. Oh man, I'm here for that.
So good.
Hi all, I'm Dixie Cocker at Dixie Cyanide from Onyx Path. My handle is Dixie Cyanide. My hair is also clipping, which is super weird, but new and fun. That said, you can find me tomorrow at 12:30 playing Squeaks in the Deep, Pirates of Pugmire. You can find me at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday doing the Onyx Pathcast Live. You can find me at 12:30 on Sunday playing They Came from Camp Murder Lake. And you can find me at 6 p.m. Sunday in my cosplay makeup workshop. Little advertisement there. Something else you can find us at, as we're one of the sponsors of this con, is you can find us at Onyx PathCon in June, which we're kind of seeding some mentions about.
Is that the first announcement?
And Eddie might have said it during his workshop. We've all been told to kind of mention it.
Yeah.
Also, if you like young 19th century street urchins that are possibly magic, we have an Indiegogo coming up soon for Victorian Mage for Mage Sea Ascension 20th anniversary. So,
That sounds cool.
Whoa.
so those are all my things. All of my things.
Thank you.
It's Deech.
Oh,
It's
I'm
Deej.
mute. I'm muted the whole time. Oh my god.
Do it
You were
again.
muted for us. I can
Oh,
hear you.
okay, thank you.
Start
Okay,
it again.
I'm muted on
Okay.
OBS. Wes has no sound. I've muted myself out of respect. Okay, I'm here all weekend. I'm going to be running this. Thank you so much for Carrying Comfort Studios. I'm the creative director and founder, Wes Franks, also known as Brother Wes. Thank you so much for everybody who has followed. You can check out all of our socials down below. I have links down below to everything. You can see me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm running They Came From Beyond the Grave, Blood on the Rails. If you like Murder on the Orient Express or Hammer horror films or Schlocky B horror films, you can check it out. We have Shane Easton hanging out. We have Xander Genere is going to be involved. We have Stephanie Allen from Charm Person Games. And then we have Joshua Deech. Thank you so much. I apologize, Joshua, if you ever see this in the future.
I'll let him know.
Excellent developer and writer. Fantastic person. It's going to be such a fun time. And you can see me on Sunday closing out the actual plays, I do believe, over at here. This is the last actual play here. But I will be playing Alien the RPG. But we're not doing aliens. You're not going to see any Xenos. It's going to be run by Nick Francia. And we are going to be going to Jurassic Park.
Oh, I'm so
my
excited for that one.
goodness.
I love
Ooh,
Jurassic
yeah.
Park
So
so much.
we were so concerned with ourselves that whether or not we could run Jurassic Park with Alien RPG, we didn't take the time to think maybe that we should run Alien the RPG with Jurassic Park. So it's going to be a grand time. And I'll be around. Talk to me. Hop in our Discord. We have a Discord. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. All those links are down below. We have a Patreon, all that good stuff. But be sure we are here for a reason. Be sure to get out there and donate to Black Girls Code and Blind Cat Rescue. Go ahead and make sure that you check out the wonderful people that are working this con. Thank them. Love them. All the people that are participating, watch the panels, check out some workshops, all that good stuff. Check out the vendor and artist alley. Show some love and spread the joy of this event on your socials as well. If you don't have the money to spend for things, signal boosting is free and it's always welcome.
Yep.
And this convention is packed. We're on day one.
Mm-hmm.
We are closing out day one.
Mm-hmm.
The two things. First of all, this game, and then over on Gehenna Gaming, we're closing out Devil's Luck, and this is going to be the wind down of day one for Virtual HorrorCon. I'm Mark. You can find me on Twitter. More concerned. What's that?
You froze for me for a second.
Oh, did I? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you did for like 1 second. You're like I'm Mark.
it was my dramatic pause. So
it's that radio pause.
Follow me on Twitter if you can find me, but more importantly, follow Gehenna Gaming. Keep following that on Twitter because that's going to be kind of the way that we're announcing things for this entire convention.
Yep.
Go to virtualhorrorcon.com. You can find a schedule for all the workshops, which are still accepting seats. So if you haven't reserved a seat, you still can. All of our panels, all of our actual plays, you can find it all on virtualhorrorcon.com. What am I doing this weekend? Well, tomorrow I have the panel Horror in Media. Very, very excited about that one. I am extremely excited for my Cult Silent Hill game, which you can see at 7:30 right here on Carrying Comfort Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So come back here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, and you can watch that. And also, see what other people are doing across Darker Days Radio Twitch and Gehenna Gaming Twitch, because Virtual HorrorCon is freaking awesome. Everybody who has donated, thank you so much. Everybody's watching, thank you so much. Keep playing games and venerating small business and small-time creators just as much as the big guys.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
I guess I'm last, so I'm just going to say I'm doing way too much stuff to list. You can find all of it over on virtualhorrorcon.com, but you should check out what everyone else is doing because it's far cooler. Not really. My stuff's cool too. But check out everything. And go help support us, Signal Boost, so that we can raise more money for great causes.
This is my only game with you for the first time in the history of us doing cons together, so I had a blast.
This was so much fun. And
This
your
was awesome.
character
I love
was
the thing.
amazing.
It's one of my favorite movies, and I was very excited to do this. And now I am the creepy person, and that is amazing.
Yeah, that was such a good ending. I do want to let people know what's coming up tomorrow morning because it starts fribbin' early.
I know. I'm producing it. I need to go to bed. Can we hurry this up?
Okay, I'm going to say it quickly. So tomorrow, if you speak Portuguese, watch Vampiro a Mascara. That is going to be the Portuguese V5 game. I'm very excited about that one. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any English subtitles live, but that's all I can say for that. At 5:30 as well, you can also watch Painting Miniatures Realistically on the Darker Days Radio Twitch. And then, of course, the workshop is at 9 a.m., and that's world building. Yeah, keep on keeping on with Virtual HorrorCon.
Keep rolling.
I have one more thing to add before we get out of here.
Perfect. Yeah.
Tomorrow as well at 4 p.m., our wonderful, everyone's favorite Malkavian, JD Jester, is actually going to be a part of Urban Shadows. That's 4 p.m.
Hell yeah.
I believe that is... I don't know what channel it's on, to be honest with you. But I'm sure you can go on Twitter and...
I think
yeah,
Urban
just wanna
Shadows is
let-
on Darker Days Radio Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if,
Okay. There
and
you
if
go.
you're and if you're confused and you want to know where things are playing, go to virtualhorrorcon.com. That's your hub. That's your portal of all things Virtual HorrorCon.
Ask somebody in the Discords. We can help you out. Ask on social medias. There's going to be somebody there that can respond to you and they can help you point you in the right direction. We have plenty of graphics and everything for people. Thank you all so very much. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I do like to say one last thing before we snip out of here, before I do our favorite call sign. If you did like this, go ahead, hit a follow button, because in the near future, there will be an Alien series here on Carrying Comfort Studios, and I would love to ask back these people to be a part of the cast. It will be an anthology series, so we get to circulate through different people in different situations, and I would love to have them back.
Please.
Yes.
So if you would like to see that, go ahead, check us out, Keep your eyes peeled and your ears perked up. Enjoy Virtual HorrorCon. Support indie developers. Support small-time creators. Support everything. Let's make them a little bit more big time. Go ahead and donate to these local charities. And do not forget that comfort comes soon. Have an excellent evening. We will see you tomorrow at the con. Bye.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Wes. Oh my God.
Thank you, guys.